From Hollywood, it's time now for...
Johnny Dollar.
Hi, kiddo. Carter at Universal Adjustment.
Jim, how are you?
In a rush. I have to catch a plane to Tucson, Arizona.
Lucky you. Nice there this time of year.
No, listen. One of our brokers out there wrote a $50,000 straight life policy on a man named James Lansing. Lansing dropped dead 2 days ago.
Uh-huh.
And you'll never guess why.
I'll bite. Why?
Mr. Lansing starved to death.
What? With a 50,000...
Honest. He died of malnutrition. Got the coroner's report from Tucson right in my hand.
Well, if a man could buy a $50,000 policy, he ought to be able to buy himself a square meal.
Yeah. Johnny, Flight 203 leaves at 10:45. You interested?
See you at the airport, Jim.
Tonight and every weekday night, Bob Bailey in the transcribed adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account, America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Expense account, submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to the Universal Adjustment Bureau, Home Office, Hartford, Connecticut. The following is an accounting of expenditures during my investigation of the Lansing fraud. Expense account item 1, $178.13. Cost a plane ticket, Hartford to Tucson. I shaved, showered, packed, and got out to the airport in time to have breakfast there. Jim Carter found me at the cashier's cage.
Hey, kiddo, you won't need a coat out there in that desert country.
As usual, Jim Carter was bigger than I thought. A man who stands 6'5" always is. A little ruddier, a little more blustery, but as efficient as ever.
I wrote a special delivery airmail to the Insurance Commission in Arizona this morning and explained that worldwide, they wrote the policy, we're holding up payment pending investigation.
Well, you could have told them that in person. We'll be out there as soon as the letter.
Well, I like to be formal on these things, especially with the state commission. Besides, I just as soon let them think we'll get around to a routine investigation later, in a week or two.
In other words, you didn't tell anybody we're coming.
No, I didn't. Maybe we can work it better this way. The faster we move in and find out what's what and aren't bothered by anybody, the better off we'll be. Hey, give me your ticket, will you, John?
Yeah, sure.
Here you are, pal.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Johnny, that commission is going to get formal sooner or later and ask a lot of questions. Mainly, why doesn't Worldwide honor the claim and pay off the beneficiary? So we'll have to skedaddle and get ourselves some good answers for him.
Yeah, sir.
Hey.
You may board the plane.
Yeah. Thanks, pal.
Has anybody asked that question yet?
Well, the beneficiary, sure. James Lansing's sister, his name's Arlene Kennedy. She called the broker, and he referred her to Claims Division at Worldwide, and she called them long distance, and then they called me. I told them to put her off for a while, telling her it was just routine.
I see. Is she going to be tough?
Man, she could be, Johnny. I understand she has money of her own, and she has some influence in and around Tucson.
Oh, a lot of money?
Yeah, and trust. She's very comfortably fixed. Yeah, watch yourself, kiddo. Yes, Mrs. Kennedy's pretty upset by the whole business. Can't blame her for that. James Lansing died on the street with no identification on him. By the time police found out who he was, a routine PM had already been performed to determine cause. You know, the county was going to bury this guy.
With $50,000 worth of insurance?
Yeah, imagine that. Oh, excuse me, lady. The post-mortem never had happened unless Lansing dropped dead on a public street.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
So I requested the coroner's office in Tucson to hold the body until we can get something done.
Better fix your seatbelt, Jim.
Oh, yeah. First thing that occurred to me when I saw the PM findings was that it might not be James Lansing at all. Chronic heart condition, lung history, debility.
Doesn't sound like anybody worldwide would insure. Lansing took a physical before the policy was issued, didn't he?
Of course he did.
See, have you got any material on his insurance examination?
Sure. Right here. Standard form. James Lansing was 100% okay when the policy was issued a couple of years ago.
Malnutrition, lung history, chronic heart. Hey, how could he get in that bad shape in 2 years?
That's a pretty good question, Johnny. I bet the answer is going to be great.
Yeah. What's the examining physician's name?
Let me see. Here it is. Dr. Carl Mayhood, Suite 932, Valley National Building, Tucson. He's our first job, Johnny. Hey, cute stewardess.
Yeah.
Well, back to business, kiddo.
It was a long trip, and I spent most of it going over the material in Jim Carter's briefcase. By the time we circled Tucson Airport at 4:45 in the afternoon, I had the facts pretty well in mind. Expense account item 2, $350, cab fare, Tucson Airport to the Pioneer Hotel. Jim Carter and I took adjoining rooms. I unpacked my clothes and got on the phone. A Sergeant Younger, Tucson Police, had made the DOA report on James Lansing. Yes, he was in. Yes, he'd be glad to talk to me. I left Jim Carter contacting the State Medical Board.
Glad to meet you, Mr. Dollar. How do you like Tucson?
Well, I've been here 2 hours, Sergeant. Weather's certainly nice.
About like this all through the winter months. It's a little warm in the summer, though. Yes, sir. This Lansing matter.
Yeah.
There isn't really much to tell you, Mr. Dollar. One of the cars answered the call. A man was found dead in the doorway of a jewelry store about 4 blocks down the street.
Uh-huh. This was day before yesterday, Sergeant?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I went down to the scene and called the coroner's office. No identification on him, so we started to check him out. Took us a little while. By the time we got a make on him, the coroner had already performed an autopsy.
Yeah, I understood that was about the way it was. Say, tell me, how did you identify him as Lansing?
One of his prints matched up on our cards here. Lansing was booked on a traffic beef a year ago. Otherwise, we'd still be trying to make him.
You're sure it's Lansing over in the morgue?
Yeah, we're sure. His sister came down, identified him. Name of Kennedy.
Yes. Well, what did Mrs. Kennedy have to say about the cause of death?
Nothing.
That malnutrition bit didn't do a thing for her, huh?
Not a thing, no, sir. We all thought Lansing was some sort of a transient. You know, just some old bum until we identified him.
Uh-huh. Any witnesses see him die?
No, we haven't found any. According to the coroner, he'd been dead an hour or so before anybody noticed him at all. Happened early in the morning.
I see. Say, did Lansing have any other business down here other than that traffic violation?
Nope.
All right. Who do I have to see to get into the morgue?
Well, I'll phone the coroner for you. Won't be any trouble there. You want to go over now?
No, later on, maybe.
Dollar.
Yeah?
Death was from natural causes. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
Then no matter how much you investigate, you people are going to have to pay off. Well, aren't you?
Maybe. We just have to be sure of one thing.
What's that?
That we insured the right man. By the time I finished with Sergeant Younger, it was 6 o'clock. I phoned the hotel, and Jim Carter, busy and efficient as always, had already gotten the vital statistics on Dr. Carl Mayhood. Northwestern University Medical School, 1940. Army Medical Corps, 1941 to 45. Dr. Mayhood's license to practice medicine in Arizona was issued in June of 1946. Married, 2 children, income and practice, according to Carter, was average. In person, Dr. Mayhood was a tall, blond man in his late 30s. He looked like he needed a week's rest and a few laughs.
Day and night. You have an alarm clock around the house, Mrs. Garland? Well, use that. Yes. Goodbye. Yes, sir?
Dr. Mayhood, my name's Johnny Dollar. I'm from Hartford. I represent the Adjustment Bureau handling a claim for worldwide insurance.
Well, what does that mean?
I'm an investigator.
So?
July 14th, 1953, you examined a man I'd like to get some information about.
I hope this won't take too long. Was it an insurance examination?
Yeah. The man's name was James Lansing. Do you happen to remember him?
James Lansing. No, I can't say that I do remember him, Mr. Dollar. What about him?
Well, I'd like to show you the standard examination form first. Is this your signature? Is that your signature, Doctor?
I suppose so, yes. I don't know.
Aren't you sure?
Well, how many people are certain of their signatures? It looks like my signature, Mr. Dollar. I can't say for sure if it is or isn't.
All right, what about these? Are these notations on the form in your handwriting?
I would think so. I don't know. It looks like my handwriting. I can't say.
According to this form, you gave Mr. Lansing a complete physical and pronounced him sound.
That's my job as a doctor on these insurance examinations. Anything unusual about that?
Mr. Lansing died 2 days ago, Doctor.
There's nothing unusual about that either. Did they send you all the way from Hartford so I could tell you to go back there and buy a book on heart disease? You can get them anywhere in the country. The simplest kind. Not even a doctor's book. Read it. Know it. And don't take up my valuable time. Now, let me have that.
Sure.
This patient Lansing was 41 years old. If he had no heart condition when I examined him 2 years ago, and obviously he didn't, according to my findings, it's entirely reasonable to assume that he could have developed heart trouble in a very short while, even the day after I examined him. You people gauge those things in your premiums. Why do you bother me?
Are you finished?
Huh?
I take it you've had yourself a tough day, Doctor, and you don't want to be bothered with anybody. Now, look, I'm not here to bother you. Just from what's on this sheet and what's happened, you're in enough trouble to get yourself involved in a police investigation. I'm here to try to avoid all that, for you as well as me. And please don't lecture me on heart trouble, incidentally. We know the statistics by age, race, color, climate, state, religion, occupation, geographical area, and sex. It so happens we don't have to go into that, Doctor. James Lansing died of malnutrition. I said Lansing died of malnutrition.
I'll be doggone.
Coroner's report. Look for yourself.
Well, he should know.
Now, was it possible for you to overlook that condition at the time you examined Lansing?
If he'd been suffering from malnutrition in any degree, I would have discovered it and noted it.
According to the coroner's findings, James Lansing had been ill several years. The lung and heart condition existed at least 10 years. Can you explain how you were able to pronounce him physically fit, Doctor?
No, I can't.
Well, how about this, the angina condition?
I could have missed that, but it's unlikely with the degree of aggravation noted here on the coroner's report.
Have you had much experience reading chest x-rays, Doctor?
Of course.
The lesions reported by the coroner.
If there'd been any lesions on Lansing's chest, I would have reported them. I can't explain that either.
Well, now you understand why I'm here.
Certainly. I wish I could help you.
You can. Just let me see your file copy of the examination. And the x-ray you took at that time.
I'll have my nurse look them up. I don't keep files over a year old up here. We have a place down in the basement.
Okay.
I'll have them for you tomorrow.
What time tomorrow?
As soon as possible.
Like to have them first thing, Doctor.
You're kind of on me, aren't you?
That's right, Doctor. I'm kind of on you.
From Hollywood, it's time now for...
Johnny Dollar.
Dr. Mayhood, I sent you a copy of Lansing's insurance examination this morning. Did you get it all right?
Yes, I did, Doctor. Thank you very much. Just looked it over.
And I take it everything's all right.
It's an exact duplicate of the one sent to the insurance company, and that part's okay. But it doesn't straighten out matters on this case.
I'm not concerned with your case particularly. I just hope you're through bothering me, Mr. Dollar.
Not quite.
What does that mean?
I want another hour of your time, Doctor. I want you to go over to the coroner's office with me and look at Mr. Lansing's body.
What for?
To identify it. I've got to know if he's the man you examined or not. About an hour? Doctor, I can get an injunction.
All right.
Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar. Location, Tucson, Arizona. To the Universal Adjustment Bureau, Home Office, Hartford, Connecticut. The following is a further accounting of expenditures during my investigation of the Lansing fraud. Or was it a fraud? Expense account item 3, $10, loan. To Jim Carter, who was working with me on the case.
Thanks, buddy. I'll pay you back as soon as I can cash a check. Been so busy, I haven't had time. How's your doctor friend?
Well, I'm going to pick him up pretty soon and go over to the coroner's office. I want him to look at James Lansing and see if he's the same man he passed on the insurance examination 2 years ago. Either we insured the wrong man or Dr. Mayhood examined the wrong man. I don't know which. How have you done so far?
Well, besides what I told you yesterday about Dr. Mayhood?
Yeah.
Well, he's in healthy financial shape. Not good or bad, but, healthy. His house halfway paid for. He owns one car outright and has 8 months to go on another one.
All of which doesn't mean anything if he phonied up an insurance examination.
Yeah, that's true, kiddo. That's true.
I've been thinking. This would have worked, but James Lansing died on the street and the city performed an autopsy. Death, malnutrition. For a private physician, without an autopsy hanging over him, it could have been heart failure or most anything. Jim, I think we can do whatever we want around here. Step on anybody's toes, make any kind of noise we like. With this kind of situation to investigate, we don't have to be careful.
Easy, Johnny.
Lansing's body's in the morgue. There's no doubt that it's him, Exhibit A. But we aren't sure that his $50,000 policy was issued legitimately.
What are you getting to?
Call the State Insurance Commission, Jim. Let them know we think this is a bad one from top to bottom. Let them know that so that when the beneficiary starts to complain, they can tell her. It might scare her and whoever helped her into being more ridiculous than they've been already.
I'm going to hold off, Johnny,
Why?
until I see how you and Dr. Mayhood make out at the morgue.
Expense account item 4, $2, cab fare. From my hotel to the Valley National Building. I picked up a scowling Dr. Mayhood, and we drove over to the coroner's office.
Mr. Dollar, this is a waste of your time and mine.
Sorry to inconvenience you, Doctor, but it's necessary.
I suppose so. And I suppose you have a job to do. But I have a job, too. Mr. Franks, the insurance broker, telephones me and says he's sending over a man for a physical. I do the physical. It's immaterial to me whether the man I examine is qualified for insurance or not. My job is to examine him. It's up to the insurance company to determine...
Yeah?
Johnny Dollar, this is Dr. Mayhood. I believe Sergeant Younger phoned.
Yeah, this way.
Dollar, it's up to the insurance company to do what they want to about the examination.
I understand all that, Doctor.
Then don't ignore it with your high-pressure tactics. Because examination is the only part I have to do with this business. I examined a man named James Lansing 2 years ago. You have a copy of my findings on that examination. I stand on them. And don't forget it.
I don't forget for 1 minute. Nor do I forget that what you found and what an autopsy surgeon found are completely different opinions on Lansing's physical condition.
Here we go, boys. There's the body.
Pull the sheet back, please.
Yeah.
Well, Doctor?
I called my lawyer after you called me today. I won't be intimidated, Mr. Dollar.
You aren't being intimidated, Doctor. You're being asked to cooperate.
Then maybe I don't like the way you asked for cooperation. My attorney will be in my office to represent me if you bother me any more about this.
You want to look at this body?
Your attorney can't refute what's already been established, Doctor. You pronounced James Lansing in good physical condition 2 years ago. An autopsy report shows that when he died 2 days ago, he was in very bad physical condition. So bad that 2 years ago he couldn't possibly have gone through a careful examination in your office without some of the symptoms being detected by you.
Where is your medical degree and what responsibility?
Oh, why don't you shut up and take a look and tell me if you've ever seen this man before?
I won't be spoken to that way.
Just a minute. I'll get an injunction and I'll charge malpractice and negligence if I have to.
Oh? On what grounds?
You're being stupid, Doctor. All you have to do is look at that corpse and tell me if he's the man you examined in your office 2 years ago. Well?
I don't know whether I've seen this man before or not.
Well, does he look familiar in any way?
I can't say. I might have examined this man. I don't know.
This is James Lansing, Doctor, the name you filled in on your physical examination for the insurance.
I know that.
Is this the man you examined?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. It was 2 years ago. If I see a man for 3 hours in the course of a physical examination, am I expected to remember his face or any details about him 2 years later?
Is there any way you can determine whether or not this is the man you examined in your office?
No. Not that I know of. Is there any way you can determine it?
Believe me, Doctor, I can try. And I did try. That afternoon, over the protest of Dr. Mayhood, I took all of the personnel connected with his office down to the morgue. A nurse, a receptionist, the x-ray technician, and a laboratory worker. None of them recognized the body of James Lansing. Expense account item 5, 10 cents, one phone call to Jim Carter, who'd spent the day preparing the necessary forms for the insurance commission and gathering data on Lansing's beneficiary.
You think Dr. Mayhood was in on it?
He's too mad, too belligerent, Jim.
You don't sound too sure.
Well, and maybe he just strikes me as an inept doctor. Well, let's say Mayhood's way down on my list. He examined a man who said he was James Lansing. It could have been anybody.
All right, we'll let it go that way for a while. Any ideas?
I'm on my way out to Lansing's old address. He had an apartment on the other side of town. I want to see how he's lived out there.
Still want me to go ahead with the insurance commission?
Yeah, go ahead. The manager at James Lansing's apartment house happened to be a woman named Anita Regan. She also happened to be willing to go back down to the coroner's office with me and view the mortal remains.
There you are.
Oh.
Have you ever seen this man before, Mrs. Regan?
Yes, sir. That's Mr. Lansing, apartment 34.
You're positive?
Oh, yes. I've seen him every day for almost 2 years.
Okay. Want to smoke?
I want to get out of here.
Oh, sure.
I don't know why I'm acting this way. He doesn't look any different now than he's looked before. I've seen him stretched out like that 100 times.
What?
I mean, almost like that. Out, stony. Only I guess it's because I knew he was just drunk then, not dead.
Oh, I see.
He was crazy carrying on the way he did. Whew. Feels good to be out in the sunlight again.
Yeah.
I'll take that smoke now, Mr. Dollar.
Oh, sure.
Thank you. Oh, Mr. Lansing used to get up around 10 every morning. He'd look awful, but he was always kind of nice, polite, you know. He'd be regular as clockwork. He'd walk past my door and tip his hat and go right down to the store and come back in a little while with a sack of groceries, a bottle of milk for his cat, some donuts for himself, and some booze.
Uh-huh.
And then he'd just lock himself up in his apartment and stay there all day, drinking.
Real alcoholic, huh?
Well, I'd say so. At least I wasn't surprised he starved to death. He can't live on whiskey. He was fried to the ears by noon every day, as long as I knew him.
Mr. Lansing didn't work then?
Well, I think he tried to sell real estate once, a long time ago.
Oh?
But how could he? I understand he was a retired engineer or something like that.
He pays rent?
Oh, yes. Always seemed to have enough money to get along.
Did he have any family, Mrs. Regan?
Well, I know he's got a sister living in town somewhere.
What about his friends?
They seem to do all his drinking alone. Say, you're from the insurance company. You should know about his family.
Apparently, there are a lot of things we don't know. A man named James Lansing moved into your apartment house 2 years ago. He didn't work, but he had enough money for his rent and his liquor. He also had enough money to buy some expensive insurance. Very expensive. Somehow, he passed an insurance examination, and then he suddenly died. No one, nothing. Just one beneficiary.
Mr. Dollar, you don't suppose somebody just gave him enough money to get along so he'd drink himself to death, do you?
That's one way of looking at it, Mrs. Regan.
Oh, that poor man. That poor, poor man.
I spent another hour with Mrs. Regan, gathering as much background as I could about the last 2 years of James Lansing's life. I also spoke to the janitor of the building and 2 of the tenants. They all verified the fact that Lansing had been drinking heavily for better than 18 months prior to his death. No one seemed to know why. Jim Carter had an answer.
I talked to our man in L.A., Johnny. Lansing lived there before he came to Tucson. He had several arrests for drunkenness, never married. One time he made his living as an engineer. Finally, he got fired for drinking on the job. Yeah, just one of those chronic cases. First arrest was back in 1939.
How's the beneficiary holding up?
The sister?
Yeah.
Well, Mrs. Kennedy was pretty upset when the insurance commission notified her we were in town making an investigation, indignant, put out, things like that. She wanted to know how long it'd take. This all comes secondhand from the insurance commission. Johnny, a broker named Hillary Franks sold the policy.
What have you got on him?
Hillary Franks has represented Worldwide Insurance in this area for 17 years. You're stalling, kiddo.
Sure, I'm stalling, Jim. Because we're right down to the meat of it now, and it makes me sick. There's only one person who stood to benefit by having James Lansing insured. That's the beneficiary, his sister, Arlene Kennedy.
So?
Jim, you know as well as I do, somebody else had to take the physical examination in Dr. Mayhood's office. Someone had to help her arrange that. Someone had to help her get Lansing's signature on the policies. She couldn't have pulled it off by herself without gumming it up. She had to have expert help.
Hillary Franks.
Yeah, Hillary Franks. 17 years, broker, Worldwide Insurance Company.
Okay, the salesman's the first one to come under suspicion in a case like this, outside of the beneficiary. So let's get on with it.
All right, Jim. One thing.
What?
Hillary Franks knows we'll be looking at him, and he knows he's under suspicion.
That worry you?
A little bit. After 17 years in the business, he should also know where we're going to be before we get there. If he did something as dumb as try to work a $50,000 fraud on his own insurance company, he might do something even dumber. If so... Well, what's the 38, Jim?
Here. From now on, Johnny, you better carry this.
From Hollywood, it's time now for...
Johnny Dollar.
This is Arlene Kennedy. You called my home, Mr. Dollar?
Oh, yes, Mrs. Kennedy. I'm with Universal Adjustment Bureau. We're investigating the matter of James Lansing's death.
Your what?
We're investigating your brother's death before we take action on your claim as his beneficiary. Under the circumstances, we have to do this, Mrs. Kennedy. I'd like to talk to you about it, if I may.
How would you like to talk to my lawyer, Mr. Dollar?
Sure, if you think it's necessary. I'd rather talk to you first.
Why?
Well, frankly, the insurance company isn't satisfied that this is a legitimate claim.
You mean you're not satisfied?
All right, then I'm not satisfied, and I represent the company in this matter. Look, we won't get anywhere this way, Mrs. Kennedy, if you'll just... Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar, location Tucson, Arizona, to the Universal Adjustment Bureau, Home Office, Hartford, Connecticut. The following is an accounting of expenditures during my investigation of the Lansing fraud. $50,000 worth. Expense account continued. Item 6, $10, car rental, to get to Catalina Vista, where Arlene Kennedy maintained a $55,000 home. It was a warm, sunny day, incredibly clear. I enjoyed it in my drive. However, I can't say I enjoyed Arlene Kennedy.
That's as far as you need to come.
What?
You must be the Mr. Dollar I spoke to on the phone. If you didn't get the idea on the phone, I'll tell it to you again. I don't want to talk to you. Now, please get away from my home.
We'll have to talk sometime.
I don't think so.
I know so, Mrs. Kennedy.
I must ask you to take your briefcase and get out of here, Mr. Dollar, now.
I'm sorry you feel that way.
Look, my brother Jim drank himself to death. I don't know why. I just know he did it. He's dead. I'm his beneficiary. Why don't you pay me what you owe me?
We will, Mrs. Kennedy, if the circumstances are right. So far, though, we have reasonable doubt. And this investigation is for your benefit as much as it is ours.
I can hardly believe that.
When we've satisfied ourselves one way or the other, your claim will be settled.
The whole situation's cut and dry.
I'm afraid it isn't.
Mr. Dollar, I've had enough of this. I'll turn the matter over to my attorneys.
Mrs. Kennedy, I don't carry this briefcase to impress anybody, but I thought it might interest you. I have in it a copy of the physical examination your brother took 2 years ago when he applied for his insurance policy. I have a copy of the coroner's report and the results of the autopsy.
I don't care what you have.
Then maybe you'd just be interested in the conclusion. We have to discredit one item or the other. That's why we can't take any action on your claim yet. Goodbye.
Wait. What is it you want to know? I haven't seen my brother in well over 2 years, 3 years. I can't tell you a thing about him.
Were you on good terms with him?
Of course I was. I was the only one he had in the world. He left me his insurance money, didn't he?
Did he leave you anything else?
He didn't have anything else.
I understand there was a trust in the family.
He spent his a long time ago.
I understand you're a widow, Mrs. Kennedy.
I don't see what bearing that has.
Do you have any dependents?
No children, that's what you mean.
The money from the policy would have gone to you alone.
Let me correct you. The money will come to me alone. I don't know what you people think you can do trying to weasel out of this payment, but I've already spoken with my attorneys, and they've advised me to sue for an immediate settlement and damages.
Perhaps I can save you some fees and your attorney some time, Mrs. Kennedy. Where can I contact them?
Never mind. You'll find out soon enough.
I hope you won't allow them to go so far as a courtroom without speaking to me.
We'll see about that, too. I don't need your advice.
Now, look, I'm going to tell you exactly what I'd tell them. You can pass it on to them. Your brother could have died quietly in his bed one night, and any doctor would have pronounced him a heart failure, and your claim would have been honored without delay. But James Lansing made the mistake of dropping dead on a public street, and the police took over, and before he was properly identified, an autopsy had been performed.
And I intend to sue the city for that kind of liberty. They had no right to...
They had every right. An unknown man dead on the street from unknown causes. Now, don't be childish. Because of that autopsy, we know your brother couldn't possibly have passed an insurance examination 2 years ago or 10 years ago. Not with the amount of bad health he'd collected.
But he did pass it. The insurance company accepted him as a client. They issued a policy, and you can't deny it. Jim came to me the day after he took out that policy and told me I was his beneficiary.
You said you hadn't seen him for well over 2 years. He took the exam a year ago last July.
All right, I saw him that one time.
Look, I'll lay it right on the line, Mrs. Kennedy. We don't think your brother ever took that physical examination.
What?
Someone else went up to Dr. Mayhood's office and took it for him. Someone who could pass it. Mrs. Kennedy, we aren't fools, and we don't like to be fooled. Now, we're going to find out who that someone was and how it was done. We're used to all sorts of tricks in this business and all sorts of bluffing, too. You can sue us for a settlement. You can sue us all over the place. With what I have right now, I'd be willing to meet you in a courtroom. I'm talking facts to you, Mrs. Kennedy, and I wish you'd talk them to me.
Get out of here. Get out of here, you cheap snooper, before I call the police and have you thrown out.
Some more expenses. Item 7, $6, lunch, for Jim Carter and myself.
We'll pass the cream, Johnny. Thanks.
Well, what do you think, Jim?
Mrs. Kennedy?
Yeah.
Well, it's hard to say. She's going to make it as tough as she can for us, judging from her attitude toward you this morning.
How does the commission feel?
Well, they feel very badly that something like this has come up. They've requested us to act with discretion and to act swiftly. They're certain the entire matter can be settled without legal action. Would you pass the sugar, please?
Uh-huh.
Thanks.
Aren't they going to cooperate?
Aren't going to do anything until we show cause. They did mention that their action will take place in 10 days, so that means we've got 10 days to write such a statement.
Tell me what you've learned about Mrs. Kennedy.
Well, she was widowed 5 years ago. Her husband was a lawyer. He left her $40,000 in insurance and $15,000 in debts. Her family, the Lansings, had money at one time. Enough so that she gets 1/2 of 1/10 of 1% of an oil company out on the coast. It pays her about $750 a month. She managed to clear her house out in Catalina Vista and drive a Cadillac.
But she could use $50,000.
Of course she could use $50,000. Everybody could. Johnny, when are you going to start on the insurance agent?
Hillary Franks, I've already started. If I know my Mrs. Kennedy, she won't call a lawyer or anybody else right now. She'll talk to her agent, Mr. H. Franks, and he'll have to come to us. I don't have to go to him.
Johnny.
When you buy a radio and it goes bad, you call up the store. They didn't manufacture the set, but you complain to them just the same. Same thing with insurance. You don't call up the company, you call up the agent who sold it to you. Hillary Frank has to call me, Jim, just to look legitimate.
I hope you're right, kiddo.
After lunch, I went back to my hotel room and opened up the file Jim Carter had collected on Hillary Franks. Hillary Franks, age 56, college graduate, married, 2 children, wife deceased, income good. No record of any kind for any offense. Highly thought of by worldwide insurance officials. The 17 years with the company sort of got me. He started as an agent when he was 39.
This is Hillary Franks, Mr. Dollar.
Yes, sir.
I understand you're in town on a little investigation for the home office. Wonder if we could have dinner.
As a matter of fact, I was going to call you, Mr. Franks. The policy I'm working on was written by you.
Yes, I understand that. Mrs. Kennedy, the beneficiary, called me today. Seemed very upset. I thought perhaps we could discuss it over dinner.
Anything wrong with right now at your office?
Why, not a thing.
I suppose you're Mr. Dollar.
Yes.
Maria, that's my secretary. She's already gone for the day. Sorry you had to wait.
Mr. Hillary Franks looked straight life insurance from the top of his iron gray hair to the tips of his polished brown shoes. He had a quiet manner about him and a pair of large brown eyes that looked wide open and honest.
Come in, Mr. Dollar. Thank you very much for coming over. I was surprised when Mrs. Kennedy called me about this matter today. Surprised to learn that you were in town.
Were you?
She said you'd been over to her home this morning.
That's right.
Well, just what is this all about?
We have reason to believe Mrs. Kennedy is a party to an attempted fraud, Mr. Franks.
I gathered it was something like that. I've been writing policies for worldwide insurance for 17 years, Mr. Dollar. And this is the first time anything like this has ever happened on one of them.
I believe you, Mr. Franks, and your record. But there's a first time for everything.
Yes.
I'm here to find out all I can about the circumstances under which you sold the policy to Mrs. Kennedy's brother.
Well, nothing unusual about it, Mr. Dollar.
I think there was.
Eh?
James Lansing was a bachelor. He lived in a fairly nice apartment on the other side of town. No dependents. Now, what made James Lansing a prospect for life insurance, Mr. Franks?
Well, it's more of a personal thing, really, I suppose. My wife and I were interested in buying a home a couple of years ago. There was one we liked in Catalina Vista. The real estate agent happened to be James Lansing. That's how we first became acquainted.
Uh-huh.
Mrs. Franks and I saw Lansing, 2 or 3 times. Had dinner together, you know. And I managed to sell him the policy.
I understood he was an engineer.
He had been at one time in Los Angeles. And he was only engaged in the real estate business here for a very short time. Really a matter of a few months.
I see. Did he do very well at it?
I don't think so. I don't think he worked hard at it. You see, he had a fairly comfortable income from money left by his father.
You didn't buy the house from him?
No.
Too much?
No. Mrs. Franks died rather suddenly about that time, and I had no need to buy a home.
But out of the association, you interested Lansing in buying insurance from you?
Yes.
What kind of a man was he?
What do you mean?
Well, just your opinion, Mr. Franks.
Well, just a client, Mr. Dollar. I looked at him and treated him just the same as any other client.
But you saw him socially several times, had dinner with him. Do you do that with all your clients?
I might. I remember he was trying to sell me something, too.
Aye, sure. How'd he look?
What?
Oh, pale, thin, emaciated, what?
Oh, he looked fine to me.
Did he drink much?
Well, I don't recall.
Think. It's important.
Well, I don't recall.
Then I'll recall for you, Mr. Franks. Lansing did drink a lot on those occasions. As a matter of fact, he was soaked up most of the time.
Oh, now, that's not true, Mr. Dollar.
You know as well as I do, he was an alcoholic in Los Angeles, and he was an alcoholic here in Tucson. He died of malnutrition, a direct result of his alcoholic condition.
Well, I'm not a doctor. I had no way of ascertaining that.
You don't have to be a doctor to smell booze, Mr. Franks. Did you ever meet his beneficiary?
You mean his sister, Mrs. Kennedy? No. I think I told you she telephoned me today.
Never met her at all?
No.
Mr. Franks, I'm going to leave you for a while, and I want you to think about all we've discussed. When I come back, I might ask you the same questions again. And I'll expect some different answers.
Anything you say, Mr. Dollar.
Hillary Franks, 17 years insurance broker, was a bad liar. He was worse than that. He was a stupid, awkward, unprepared liar with no idea of what he was up against. He knew I was going to get him and get him good, and he didn't know what to do about it. I almost felt sorry for him.
From Hollywood, it's time now for...
Johnny Dollar.
Jim Carter, Johnny.
Hi.
How'd you make out with Hillary Franks? The agent who sold the policy?
He's worried, he's scared, and he's already doing everything wrong. I left him about an hour ago to think things over.
Ah. Mrs. Kennedy's fighting back.
What do you mean?
Her lawyer served notice on us an hour ago to pay up on the policy or else.
Just a bluff.
Yeah, but this wasn't. She got a court order and made the coroner release her brother's body. She took it right to the crematorium. Exhibit A is a pile of ashes by now.
Uh-oh.
Her next step is to contact the State Insurance Commission and have them order us to pay off or show cause. We'll have to act fast.
Maybe I better go back to see Mr. Hillary Franks. Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar. Location, Tucson, Arizona. To the Universal Adjustment Bureau, Home Office, Hartford, Connecticut. The following is an accounting of expenditures during my investigation of the Lansing fraud. $50,000. And by now I was sure it was fraud. Expense account, item number 8, $5. Stenographic services. I dictated a hastily composed letter to the State Insurance Commission advising them that Worldwide was withholding payment on the claim of Mrs. Arlene Kennedy pending a complete investigation of the circumstances of her brother's death. I enclosed copies of the original physical examination and the coroner's autopsy findings, pointing out that in our opinion it was impossible for James Lansing to have successfully passed an insurance examination in the first place. I enclosed copies of statements from the examining physician, Dr. Mayhood, and the members of his office staff, all of whom were unable to identify the body of James Lansing. Expense account item 9, 52 cents postage. I sent the letter to the state capitol special delivery in the hope it would arrive there before Mrs. Kennedy's lawyers took the anticipated action. After that, I drove back over to the office of Hillary Franks. He was the same as I left him an hour before. A little shaken, but still unable to realize quite what was happening.
Yes, Mr. Dollar?
Mr. Franks, I wonder if you've got anything to say to me.
Nothing, Mr. Dollar.
I was hoping you might want to make a statement.
Oh? About what?
Mrs. Kennedy's attempting to defraud your insurance company?
I don't know what you're talking about, Mr. Dollar. I sold her brother an insurance policy. I don't even know Mrs. Kennedy.
There are a lot of things about this you say you don't know. Do you want me to lay it on the line?
If you like.
All right. Someone else had to take that physical examination for James Lansing 2 years ago. I think you arranged for someone to do it, or you helped Mrs. Kennedy arrange it. I think James Lansing was insured on that basis. I think he was insured with a clean intent to defraud. Lansing's health wouldn't permit that kind of insurance. Right now, our Los Angeles men are looking into Lansing's activities there. Somewhere along the line, they're going to turn up a medical history that'll show Lansing was already dying when he came to Arizona 2 years ago. Now, do you have anything to say, Mr. Franks?
No.
I think you're being very foolish. If it isn't clear how serious this can be with you, it's noted that you arranged for Lansing's physical examination.
There's nothing incriminating in that.
How well do you know Dr. Mayhood?
Oh, slightly. The physician is supposed to be an impartial third party. When a client has to be examined by a physician for insurance purposes, I send him to Dr. Mayhood. That's all. Dr. Mayhood sends me a Christmas card every year. I sent James Lansing to him.
Just like any other?
Just like any other.
Oh, you worry me, Mr. Franks. You don't object to my questions or get ruffled when you're caught lying. I've given you time to think and time to make a statement regarding your part in this matter.
I resent all this, Mr. Dollar. I've been an insurance broker for a good long time, and no one has ever questioned my integrity.
And I think that's what you've been banking on, Mr. Franks, your reputation. Well, I've been questioning it ever since I got here, and I still question it. You couldn't have known James Lansing without being aware of his drinking habits. I'm sorry for you, Franks, but there had to be collusion here with the beneficiary, Mrs. Kennedy. And you're the logical party.
Dollar.
You arranged for someone else to take that examination for Lansing, somebody who could pass it. Now, I've given you a chance to talk to me, but you refuse. Now we'll see how you like talking to the police about it.
What?
I'm going to swear out a warrant for your arrest.
Dollar,
I'm going to charge you with attempted fraud and collusion. And I'm going to swear out a warrant for Mrs. Kennedy, too. You're going to jail. Oh! Oh! In the 3 minutes it took me to recover from the blow from the paperweight and get my breath inside of me and my feet under me, Hillary Franks was well out of the way and out of sight. About that time, Jim Carter walked in.
Hey, what happened to you?
Hillary Franks. He got scared, swung a paperweight at me, and beat it.
Well, if he's playing rough, I don't want to take any chances.
No, put that phone down. He hasn't admitted anything yet.
Smacking him on the side of the head is admittance enough for me.
No, I want a statement. I think I can get one.
You have to find him first, and he's running.
He won't run far, Jim.
What makes you so sure?
Hillary Franks doesn't know how to run. It was exactly 3 o'clock in the afternoon then. At 3:25, I was back out in Catalina Vista knocking on a familiar door. And the same familiar things began to happen all over again.
What do you want?
I'm here to tell you about the trouble you're in, Mrs. Kennedy. Hillary Franks gave it all away.
Gave what away? Who's Hillary Franks? What are you talking about?
About that insurance policy that was written up and issued in your brother's name. You're the one who stood to gain most by your brother's death after having someone else take an insurance examination for him. But you had to have help to pull it off. Hillary Franks helped you. For what reason or how you got him to do it, I don't know. But I do know a man with a 17-year record as insurance broker is ruined.
You're crazy. I don't know anybody named Hillary Franks. Now get out of here.
Oh, stop it, will you? I told him how he stood in this matter a half hour ago, and he socked me with a paperweight and beat it.
I've had about enough
But
of
he
you,
isn't going
Mr.
to run far. Principally because he doesn't know how to run, Mrs. Kennedy. He'll cool off, and he'll begin thinking about all this business in a new light. A few minutes ago, it dawned on him what he'd done. He'd kicked his whole lifetime right out the window. He'd been found out. He's lost all around. And he's going to be mad about that. And you're the one he's going to be mad at because you got him into it.
I told you, I don't know anybody named Hillary Franks. That's the last time I'll say it.
He'll probably want to kill you, Mrs. Kennedy.
What?
I said he'll think about all this, and he'll probably want to kill you. Do we talk now?
I don't see why. I've done nothing wrong.
Who did you get to take that physical for your brother?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You got your brother drunk enough to sign the insurance papers, didn't you?
I had nothing to do with my brother taking out life insurance and naming me his beneficiary. That was his business. Now that he's dead, it's my position to receive the payment. That's all.
Okay, Mrs. Kennedy. We'll get it all from Hillary Franks.
Yes, why don't you do that?
In the meantime, I hope you sleep well, knowing what you've done.
You'll never be able to prove any of these things you're saying. Never.
And for 24 hours, it looked as if Mrs. Kennedy might have been right. There was no way to involve her unless we had a statement from Hillary Franks, and he was still missing. I set up a watch on Mrs. Kennedy's house, and Jim Carter kept an eye on Hillary Franks' place. About 10 o'clock that night, Jim Carter drove up.
Hiya.
Hi.
Any action?
No. Mrs. Kennedy's been in all the night. No one showed up.
Mm-hmm.
How about Frank's place?
No. No one there when I left an hour ago.
You'd think he'd come back for a suitcase or some money or something.
Yeah. Hey, Johnny.
Mm-hmm.
I called in the police.
Oh.
In the name of Worldwide, I filed charges of attempted fraud and collusion against him. They issued a warrant half an hour ago. He's on an APB and all the local bulletins.
Well, I suppose you had to do it, Jim.
Yeah. We'll let the police handle this part from now on, huh?
How about Mrs. Kennedy?
We'll keep an eye on her, too.
Did you file any charges against her?
Not yet. We need a statement from Franks.
Jim.
Yeah?
What would you do if you were Hillary Franks?
Try to grab an airplane. Maybe go down to Nogales, cross the border. Look up a friend, borrow some money. Then get out and keep traveling. What?
He won't do anything like that.
Won't he?
He'll find himself a place to sit down and think. In the end, the cops won't find him. He'll find us.
Want to bet?
By the next morning, the police had still been unable to locate Hillary Franks. I left Jim Carter in the room on a long-distance call to the Insurance Commission advising them of the events up to date. Drove out to Hillary Franks' office. I noticed 2 police officers loitering across the street as I walked in the front door.
Yes?
How do you do?
Are you another policeman?
No, I'm not. Have they been bothering you a lot?
If you aren't a policeman and you know all about this, what do you want?
I want to help Mr. Franks if I can. I'm Johnny Dollar, Universal Adjustment Bureau. You're his secretary?
Yes.
How long have you worked for him?
12 years.
Do you like him?
What? He's always been a fine man. I don't believe any of these things about him, and I don't see
What's
why...
your name? I think he said Maria?
Maria Vano.
Maria, I'm not going to ask you any questions about Mr. Franks. I know enough about him now for my purposes. The rest he can tell me himself. Maria, I may be able to help him stay out of jail. I can do that if I talk to him.
Well, how
My name's Johnny Dollar. I'm at the Pioneer Hotel. Remember that.
But Mr. Dollar...
I don't know whether he's phoned you yet or not. A man like that's going to need help, money. I'm not asking you if he's contacted you. But listen to me carefully. If he does phone you or contact you in any way, ask him to phone me. If you ever respected him or if you want to help him now, please ask him to telephone me. Thanks. I drove back to the hotel and waited for results. Another 12 hours went by. Hillary Franks was still missing, and Mrs. Kennedy was still refusing to admit anything. Finally, about 11 o'clock that night, my phone rang. Johnny Dollar. Hello.
This is Hillary Franks.
Where are you?
Never mind. Dollar, they know all about me back at the home office, I suppose?
Yes.
I'd like to explain some things to you so you can pass them on. I'd like the people back there to know why I did it. Well, before I leave town...
You won't get far. The police are looking for you.
Oh, I can get away all right.
Mr. Franks, Worldwide doesn't want to prosecute. The notoriety would be bad for them. If you'd make a statement, sign it, I think I could talk them into dropping the whole matter.
Maybe we'd better get together.
Come on over.
Oh, no, I'm not that crazy. Do you know how to get to the San Javier mission?
I can find it.
In 15 minutes?
Right.
And Dollar?
Yeah?
It's right out in the open. If you bring the police, I'll use a gun. I bought one this morning.
All right, Mr. Franks.
From Hollywood, it's time now for...
Johnny Dollar.
Carter, Johnny. Anything on Hillary Franks?
He just telephoned me 2 minutes ago.
What?
I'm on my way to meet him now and try and make a deal. I told him if he'd give me a statement about the attempt to fraud worldwide on Lansing's $50,000 policy, I'd do my best to have them drop charges.
Well, you didn't make any promises,
I
Johnny.
couldn't make any promises, Jim, but I'll do my best to see that the charges are dropped if he gives me that statement.
Well, if he gives you that statement, I'll help you. Where are you meeting him?
At a place near here.
He knows every cop in the area is looking for him.
Yeah?
Be sure he doesn't give you a bullet, kiddo.
Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar in Tucson, Arizona to the Universal Adjustment Bureau, Home Office, Hartford, Connecticut. The following is a further accounting of expenditures during my investigation of, well, it was a case of $50,000 insurance to one Arlene Kennedy, unless I could prove my point in the Lansing fraud. Expense account item 10, $10, cab fare from my hotel to the Mission San Javier to talk to Hillary Franks, the insurance agent with no future ahead. I used a taxi cab instead of my rented car because I didn't want to waste time searching around for the mission. It was a few miles outside of town over rough and broken desert roads. An ancient missionary church standing stark against the moon-filled night.
Here we are, mister.
Good. Here. Keep the change.
Well, don't you want me to wait for you?
No, I'll get back okay.
Not many places to call a cab from out here.
Yeah, I know.
One of the Padres, your friend?
No, I'm new around here.
You all right, mister? You feel all right? You loaded or something?
No, why?
We're coming out here at midnight.
Well, it's just a whim, friend. Don't worry about it.
I bet sure would. Mister?
Yeah?
You gonna meet somebody here or something?
Why?
I just saw a guy standing over by the bell tower.
Oh, thanks. Good night.
Over here, Mr. Dollar. Careful, Dollar.
Hillary Franks had a .38 pointed right at my chest. In the bright moonlight, I could see that he was still wearing the same clothes he'd had on 2 days before in his office. He needed to shave, and judging from the circles under his eyes, he hadn't slept much. He was pale and shaken. The gun wobbled in his hand.
Anybody with you?
I came along.
Did you tell anybody you were meeting me?
Jim Carter. He's been working the case with me.
Did you tell him where?
No. Hey, look, you don't need that gun, Franks. Put it away. I just came here to talk with you.
All right.
Thanks. Want to smoke?
Thank you. Why did you talk to Carter? What did he say?
He said he'd help me try and have the charges dropped against you if you give us a statement. Now, you have 2 of us on your side, Mr. Franks, if you want to cooperate. Do you?
I want to straighten out what I can, Mr. Dollar.
Well, now's the time to do it. What was your deal with Arlene Kennedy, James Lansing's sister and beneficiary?
I met Arlene Kennedy right after my wife died. I guess I was very low.
Oh, that's perfectly natural.
I became interested in Arlene because we had a great many things in common. So I thought. I mean, she was a widow and had no one except her brother, James Lansing, in Los Angeles. And we went together, and eventually I asked her to marry me. But she laughed at me.
Why?
I guess I'm not an exciting man, a witty one, or even an interesting one, Mr. Dollar. Mrs. Kennedy made me feel as though my whole life had been hopeless, useless. Raising children, selling insurance. She made me feel as though I'd miss a great deal in life unless I married her. What is it? What do you want from me? What do you want from life, I'd ask her. And she'd only laugh at me.
Go on.
I just can't tell you how desperate it made me feel. I loved her, Mr. Dollar. I wanted her.
Did she ever answer your questions?
Oh, many times. She pointed out that her trust funds pay her over $700 a month for life. And she knew that my commissions and salary as a broker came to about the same. Oh, Mr. Dollar, we could have lived very comfortably on that kind of income. But Arlene talked of traveling, of Europe, of clothes, and, oh, I don't know, things her family had been able to afford for her once, many years ago. And she said she wouldn't marry unless we could look forward to that kind of life.
She wanted $50,000 in cash instead of money just trickling in every month.
That's about it.
When did she get around to the proposition, her brother's insurance?
Her brother came here from Los Angeles one day. The doctors there gave him a year or two to live. Oh, yes, he was pretty shot. Been drinking for years. He'd used up all his money, a long time before. He asked Arlene to help him. She paid his apartment rent and gave him enough money for liquor. And then one day she came right out with it. She said she was investing in him. And he was a good risk, because she knew he'd die. That's how she put it to me.
Mm-hmm.
Arlene said all I had to do was see to it that her brother had a nice fat policy. He was going to die. Why not cash in on it? I must have been crazy to even think about it.
How did you work it? I mean, how did Dr. Mayhood pass him?
I paid a man $100 to go to Dr. Mayhood's office and take the physical for Lansing.
What was the man's name?
Oh, no, I wouldn't tell you that, Mr. Dollar. He's not involved in anything.
All right, we'll let that go. Once you arranged for Lansing to become insured, you and Mrs. Kennedy just planned on waiting for him to die.
That was the general idea in view of what the Los Angeles doctors had said. Once I'd done it, gotten him insured, it was too late to turn back.
Did you want to turn back?
Yes.
What did Mrs. Kennedy say about backing out?
She thought I was weak and afraid.
Oh, then things weren't so good between you.
Oh, they never were, Mr. Dollar.
The idea was to wait for Lansing to die, collect the $50,000 and get married, huh?
I suppose so, yes, but once he was insured, she talked less and less about our getting married.
You're leaving something out, Mr. Franks.
Huh?
Didn't she tell you exactly what kind of a position you were in? Didn't she fix it so that you couldn't make a move? Legally, she'd done nothing wrong. It was you who had arranged for the physical, you who had made the application for insurance in the name of her brother.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, she was clear about all that. And she told me so every time she felt like it.
When you write down what you just told me and sign it, we can hold it over Mrs. Kennedy's head to prove attempted defraud and collusion. Now, will you do that, Mr. Franks?
Yes.
Then I guess we'd better get back into town.
All right.
Come on, Mr. Franks. We walked 3 miles over to the highway, flagged down a car, and got back to the hotel about 2:30 in the morning, got Jim Carter out of bed. Enclosed, fine notarized statement of Hillary Franks explaining his part in the matter regarding policy 678JN23L. Before he was finished, Carter had already telephoned the Tucson police, telling them that the charges were being dropped against Franks and that he was no longer a fugitive. Then he placed a long-distance call to Worldwide's president in Hartford.
Jim Carter, sir. I want to ask you not to prosecute Hillary Franks in this matter. Yes, sir, he's given us a complete statement about the whole thing. I don't think we have to go any farther than that. Oh, look, the guy made one mistake, the first one in 17 years. He suffered enough for it already. Yes, sir. Dollar feels that way, too. Yes, sir. I think it's okay, Mr. Franks.
All right. I thank you.
What are you going to do, Mr. Franks?
Well, sure, I'll never sell insurance again. I think I'll close up and just move away. Far away. Thank you.
Poor guy.
Oh, let's clean up the rest of this and get out of this town.
Sure, Johnny.
Hillary Franks pulled out of Tucson that afternoon. When Mrs. Kennedy was shown a carbon of the enclosed statement of Hillary Franks, she instructed her attorneys to withdraw the suit against Worldwide. Expense account, item 11, $75, hotel and board while in Tucson. Item 12, $402.15, plane tickets, Tucson to Hartford for Carter and myself. We were scheduled to leave at 1:30 in the morning. 2 hours before plane time, I dropped by Mrs. Kennedy's house to have her sign a release of all claims on the insurance company. And for other reasons.
Help me, Mr. Dollar. Please help me.
I carried Arlene Kennedy to the couch, and I did what I could for her. I phoned the police and told them to bring an ambulance. After that, I began looking around. I found a dark stain on the window still leading outside of the back of the house. On the floor, a blood-stained letter opener. There was no gun inside anywhere. I decided if I had been stabbed with a letter opener, it would be easier to try to make it out the back way than risk the street that was bound to be full of policemen any minute. I was right. Hillary Franks was on a ledge of rock that rose above the back of the house. I ducked behind some cactus plants.
Get away from me!
You know I won't. You know I wouldn't when I let you walk out this afternoon.
Johnny Dollar!
That's right. Now put that gun away and come on off that ledge.
Get away! Go away!
You missed by a mile. You don't know anything about shooting a gun. Come on down.
Stay where you are! Don't do anything foolish!
I'm coming after you.
I'll shoot!
Good shot, Dollar.
Can you walk?
No.
Why did you do it, Mr. Franks?
I came back to see her tonight. She laughed at me. Said if we had gotten the insurance money, she was planning to run away with someone else.
Oh.
She just used me all along.
Mrs. Kennedy was dead when the police got there. Hillary Franks died en route to the receiving hospital. Item 13, $15, hotel, one more night in Tucson. Expense account total, $1,121.13. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
From Hollywood, it's time now for...
Johnny Dollar.
Hi there, Johnny. This is Buster.
Buster?
Buster Favor, Lake Mojave Resort over on the Colorado River.
Oh, well, Buster, how are things?
So you never really did get in the fishing we promised you over here.
No, but so help me, I'm going to one of these days. Is that what you called me about?
No. Johnny, you remember old Mike Kirbey?
Kirbey. Oh, sure. The sweet old fella I met down at your boat dock. Guide or something?
That's the one.
Oh, sure, I remember him. How is he?
Well, that's what I'm calling about. He isn't.
What?
And, Johnny, I think it was murder.
Bob Bailey in the exciting adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account. America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to the Tri-State Life and Casualty Insurance Company Home Office, Hartford, Connecticut. Following is an account of expenses incurred during my investigation of the Kirbey will matter. As soon as I hung up on Buster, I lost no time in making the necessary plane reservation to Las Vegas and picking up a handful of American Express traveler's checks. That's item 1 on the expense account, a total of $320. Then I packed a bag, was about to take off when the phone rang again. Johnny Dollar.
Oh, Johnny, I'm glad I caught you in. It's Denny Newcomb at Tri-State Life and Casualty.
Oh, hi, Denny.
Johnny, I need you badly, and I need you fast. Now, there's only a $5,000 policy involved.
Danny,
the circumstances are such
I'm sorry, Dan, but I can't handle it. I'm about to catch a plane out of here.
No, Johnny, now listen. There may be a killing involved in this case, so we don't dare waste any time. And what's
No, you listen. There may be a killing involved in what I'm going out
What's more, the death of our client occurred at one of your old stamping grounds.
Sorry, Dan.
At the Lake Mojave Resort.
Danny, I told you What?
Yeah, that's right.
Mike Kirbey?
Yeah.
Okay, Danny, I'm on my way. It was 7:30 a.m. when the plane dropped me off in Las Vegas, Nevada, smack in the middle of the Mojave Desert. Even at that hour of the morning, the otherwise clear, clean air was filled with the cacophony of this city of chance. The stuttering clicks of the ball on the roulette wheels, the rattle and gallop of the ivories on the dice table, the endless drone of the croupiers, the flat clank of the chuck-a-luck cages, the snap of cards by the blackjack dealers, the never-ending click of poker chips and silver dollars. And over it all, the interminable chunk and whir of the slot machines, day and night from one end of the town to the other. Fabulous. I grabbed breakfast, that's item 2, then rented a car and headed south and east on Route 93 toward Kingman, Arizona. Then, just 5 miles short of that town, I swung right on 68 down toward Davis Dam, down to Lake Mojave Resort. Mile after mile of nothing but sun-baked rock and sand, sagebrush and Joshua trees, tumbleweed and cactus. And right in the middle of it, the clear blue waters of Lake Mojave. Buster Favor, who's general factotum of the resort, was waiting for me. After a hearty greeting, he led me into the office, and we sat down and got to work.
Yeah, it was murder, all right, Johnny.
Sure.
Yeah. And by the way, I don't know how much you knew about Mike Kirbey.
Well, only that he seemed to be one of the fixtures around here. Was obviously well-liked.
Well, he'd been a businessman back east, owned a string of restaurants, made a fortune.
Uh-huh.
And about 10 years ago, he retired. Did a lot of traveling, all over the world, I guess.
Oh, lucky man. Did he have any relatives, Buster?
Oh, only some nephews and nieces.
I see.
Anyhow, a little over 3 years ago, he settled down here to spend the rest of his life just fishing, taking it easy.
Can't think of a better place or way to retire. How old was he, Buster?
61. Didn't look it, though.
No. Well, if I remember right, he was pretty fit.
He was.
Well, I had the impression when I was here before that he was just a hired fishing guide, something like that.
Oh, he used that as an excuse to meet folks. Half the time, he clean forgot to charge for his guide services.
Accidentally on purpose, no doubt. Well, now you said...
Now, don't rush me, Johnny. I got to give you the background.
Okay, shoot.
He kept saying over and over and over again how glad he was to be out from under a lot of responsibilities. Then one day, about 6 or 7 months ago, he suddenly transferred title to his boat, his motor, his fishing tackle, and his old beat-up Ford to us.
Oh?
I know. I asked him at the time if he wanted to get him off his personal inventory, why not give him to his relatives?
Well, what'd he say to that?
Said he didn't like him. Felt they were just waiting around for him to die so they could get their hands on his money.
Oh.
Said he just wanted to make sure that if anything happened to him, the stuff would end up with us on account of we'd use it and appreciate it. Also, Johnny, he plunked down $10,000 in cash and insisted that we take that, too.
$10,000? What for?
His rent on his cabin for as long as he lived.
Oh. Buster, did he leave a will of any kind?
Well, now I'm getting to that. Anyhow, last Friday afternoon, he went out fishing alone like he often did. And just before dark, one of the rental boats came in with 2 young kids.
Yeah.
They'd seen old Mike's boat up on the beach in that big cove just above the power line crossing. They found Mike laying on the sand beside it, as still as death. Well, they came tearing in to report it, scared half out of their wits.
Well, I sure hope you...
Oh, sure. I grabbed Ham Pratt and a big flashlight. You remember Ham.
Oh, yeah, the manager of the resort.
Yeah.
Well?
Well, we found him there. And he was gone, the poor old fella.
Go on, Buster.
Well, Ham took one look at him, and rattlesnake, he said. A rattlesnake did it.
Mm-hmm.
You could tell by the way Mike looked, laying there.
Fang marks?
Yeah, on his right leg, just above the ankle. And a big bruise on his head, like he'd hit a rock when he fell.
But on the phone, you said you thought it was murder. And a minute ago, you said you're sure of it.
Well, we put him in our boat, hitched his on behind, and brought him back here. We phoned Tad Harding of the Kingman Police Department.
I remember him. Good man.
Yeah, well, Chief Harding took one look, and he agreed with Ham. Poison from a rattler. Well, they took him into Kingman, and I telegraphed the relatives.
But, Buster, now look, you...
Then I got to thinking. There was something wrong.
What do you mean?
Well, there are very few rattlers in this part of the country because of the heat. They can't take it. If anybody'd know better than to fool with one, it'd be old Mike.
And they always sound a warning before they strike anyhow, don't they?
Sure. So early next morning, I went back to the cove.
And?
Number one, there was no sign of any rock that Mike might have hit his head on when he fell.
Go on, Buster, go on.
There was no trail from any kind of a snake anywhere around.
Well, the sand could have drifted over them.
No, sir. The footprints Ham and I and the kids had made were clear as crystal, but no tracks of a snake.
All right, go on.
Well, then I noticed it, where another boat had been beached. Strange one, not from our landing. It was right next to where Mike's had been, right alongside.
Any footprints from it?
Well, if there were, we and the kids had mashed them all out. Then I remembered the way Mike had been laying there, as though he could have been rolled out of his boat or thrown out right on the sand.
Then it looks as though somebody met him out on the lake, banged him over the head, made the fang marks, which isn't hard, then lashed the two boats together, dumped him off at the cove, and left.
It sure does, Johnny.
I want to see that place.
Yeah, and all the excitement, I might have overlooked a lot of things.
Oh, that I doubt. Now, Buster, if there's no sign of rattlesnake poison in old Mike's body...
Well, right after I called you, I phoned Chief Harding. Coroner's making his autopsy today. He'll call me.
Well, now, look. These nephews and nieces of Mike's, how much do you know about them?
Oh, I never met them. But according to their answering telegrams, they're going to descend on us like a swarm of locusts.
There are a lot of them?
Well, no, I was thinking of the way that they... Well, one, there's a woman named of Martha Woodbury who...
Excuse me. Mr. Faber?
Yeah, I'm Buster Faber.
I am Miss Martha Woodbury.
Oh, well, Miss Woodbury, we were just at... this is Mr. Johnny Dollar.
How do you do? Mr. Faber, I'm a niece of Michael Jonathan Kirbey, and probably the major beneficiary of his estate. I wired you that I would be here, and I am.
You got here kind of fast, too, didn't you?
I also wired Uncle Michael's attorney in Kingman that I saw no reason why he should delay the reading of Uncle Michael's will.
Lawyer Guilford phoned me about that, and I guess you weren't the only one. He should be here late this afternoon.
I also wish to make funeral arrangements befitting one of his financial status.
Won't you sit down?
Now, please tell me the circumstances of his death. And, of course, I wish to see the poor darling's body.
Miss Woodbury.
Yes?
What do you do for a living?
Why, if it's of any concern to you, I teach at Armand College. Toxicology.
Toxicology, huh?
Yes.
Poison. Very interesting.
Is it? Why? Who are you, Mr. Dollar?
Well, I'm a special investigator for your uncle's insurance company.
What?
Yes, you see, we have good reason to believe your uncle was murdered.
Murdered?
Murdered? Who said that? Hello, Martha. You said murdered. Are you talking about Uncle Michael?
Well, that's right. Who are you?
I am Chester Kirbey, and as far as I know, the heir to my uncle's fortune. Who are you, sir?
Chester, Mr. Dollar is an insurance investigator.
Oh?
Investigator, huh? Dollar, I'm Hank Kirbey, family black sheep, also Uncle Mike's nephew. What's this talk about murder?
Are you three his only relatives?
That's right, Dollar, except for Lita.
Lita?
Lolita Laverne. Though we sometimes try to forget that.
Oh, come off of that.
Why, Miss Woodbury?
My sister is a cheap nightclub dancer. We prefer to forget it. And the silly stage name she uses.
Now, take it easy, teacher.
Of course, Martha. This is hardly the time or place.
What do you do for a living, Mr. Kirbey? Chester?
Play the stock market a bit, that sort of thing.
He's a playboy, Mr. Dollar, and a gambler, and I suspect not a very honest one.
Martha, my dear girl, I resent...
You've never done a lick of honest work in your life. And if you think Uncle Michael didn't know it, would let his money ever get into those soft pickpocket fingers of yours...
You don't think you're the one
Well, let
doing
me
it.
tell you something,
Oh, shut up, both of you. Pair of money-grabbing... If you had to work for a living...
Like what, Hank? What do you do?
Yes. Tell him, Henry.
Oh, I told you I was the black sheep of the family, but I work. You know, odd job.
I'll tell you, Mr. Dollar. He's a roustabout. Circuses, carnivals, that disgusting sort of thing.
Where are you working now, Hank?
Well, there's a sort of a scientific exhibit.
Sideshow is more like it.
All right. Along the highway over near Victorville. A lot of rare animals, reptiles, and things on display.
And Henry, dear boy, when he's off the bottle, is appropriately enough in charge of the snake pit.
Oh. Well, we do scientific work, too. You know, like
what, Henry?
Like milking the venom from the snakes to sell to laboratories?
Yeah. Well, that is...
Excuse me. Hello? What? You sure? Well, what?
Mr. Dollar,
Now,
I
wait a
think it's
second.
about time you tell us
Hey,
what
Johnny,
you meant when...
Yeah, Buster.
I want you to hear this. It's Chief Harding. Go ahead, Chief.
Well, as I said, Buster, there was evidence of rattlesnake venom in the body, all right. But it didn't enter at the fang marks on the leg.
What do you mean, Chief?
Well, the coroner says those marks were fakes. The venom was injected with a needle up near the armpit where it wouldn't be noticed.
Chief, this is Johnny Dollar.
Oh, hi there, Mr. Dollar. Haven't seen you since you were out here
Listen,
working on the...
was the venom injected into his body before or after old Mike received the blow on the head? Was the coroner able to check that?
I don't think he's tried, Mr. Dollar.
Well, have him do it, will you please, if he can?
Well, sure.
Also, do me a favor and check with Lawyer Guilford. I'd like to know when he's coming out here with a will.
Oh, I saw him just a few minutes ago, and he asked me to tell Buster sometime this afternoon if he can get away.
Good, thanks. I'll talk to you later.
Well, sure, Mr.
As I started to say, Mr.
Look,
Dollar,
Miss Woodbury, there is nothing that you or any of us can do until we get the complete report from the coroner.
Well, you can at least tell us what you meant.
And
when
what
you
about dear Uncle Michael's will, Mr. Dollar?
That will have to wait for the attorney. He expects to be here sometime later today.
Now, wait a minute. You said murdered.
Incidentally, I suppose the will shouldn't be read until Lolita, or whatever her name is, gets here.
According to her telegram, she ought to get here today.
Well, she'd better.
What I want you to do is arrange for quarters here. And, all of you stay here. If you won't do it of your own free will, I'll have Chief Harding of the Kingman Police Department take whatever...
No. Such a humiliation is entirely unnecessary.
There's nothing to keep me from sticking around. I want to hear that will, too.
Of course. Don't we all?
Okay, then. Sit tight. For my money, any one of them could have done it. A toxicologist, a man whose business was handling poisonous reptiles, and a cheap tin horn gambler, and the nightclub dancer who hadn't appeared yet. Yeah, any one of them to latch onto the old man's fortune. I avoided telling the three present about the circumstances of their uncle's death in the hope one of them would give himself away by saying something to show that he or she already knew. As soon as they were ensconced in their rooms, Buster and I hopped into his outboard and headed up the lake.
Remember the last time we rode up here looking for evidence, Johnny?
Yeah, I sure do. That was the Midas touch mine.
Yeah. The pretty little lady owned a high-power rifle with a scope sight. Just about here, she started taking pot shots at us from the shore.
Wow, that's one thing we won't have to worry about this trip.
Now, right around this point is where I found Mike's boat on the beach. And like I told you, I may have overlooked some clue that you'll spot in a second.
Buster.
Yeah?
Tell me, did old Mike earn enough as a fishing guide to make a living?
Well, just about enough to buy food and a few odds and ends and... Well, like I told you, most of the time he deliberately forgot to charge, not needing the money and all. Hey, Johnny, there in the cove.
What?
A boat, right where Mike's was.
Whose is it? Do you know?
Isn't out of our landing by... Hey, that puff of smoke from behind the bush way up on the sand dune.
Swing us around. That's somebody with a gun. And look, we're taking in water, those holes in the bottom.
Grab that can, start bailing. Hey, that guy can shoot.
Pull us around, Buster. We're like a pair of sitting ducks out here.
Right.
Whoever had been shooting at us from the shore there on Lake Mojave had a good eye. But a 30-mile-an-hour outboard at over 200 yards and swerving like mad can be a pretty tough target. With a hull full of holes, we had no choice but to go back to the landing. There, I made a quick check of the three I suspected of having killed old Mike Kirbey. First, his nephew Chester.
Right here in my room, Mr. Dollar, reading. Then a brief walk in the hills. Why? And when is that lawyer coming to read Uncle Michael's will?
Then the niece, Martha Woodbury.
Gathering a few desert plants, as you must know. Hardly racing about on the lake armed with a gun, as you seem to suspect. Why don't you question Henry? If anyone should know how to handle a gun, he should.
So I questioned Hank Kirbey.
Fishing, that's what. I saw no reason to just sit around waiting for that lawyer to arrive. I was fishing in that first big cove on the right.
On the Arizona side.
That's right. And I saw you and Buster tearing back here. That's when I come back to see what was up. Now, what is up?
Mr. Kirbey?
Yeah, Buster?
On the payphone, the phone booth next to the cafe.
Yeah?
Kingman operator just called.
Yeah?
She still hadn't been able to reach your party on whatever that call was you made.
Oh, yeah, thanks.
What call, Hank?
I've been trying to locate Lita to find out why she hasn't got down here. Maybe she doesn't care about the will.
Where is she, Hank?
It was to a dive up in Las Vegas that I sent the telegram, Johnny.
Yeah. That's where she's been working.
Is that where you called earlier, Hank?
Earlier?
Yeah, didn't I see you in that phone booth when Buster and I pulled out?
Oh, yeah, sure. Trying to get Lita then, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it reminds me, Johnny. Lawyer Guilford just phoned me from Kingman. He'll be over here in about an hour.
Then the will gets read, huh?
Perhaps we ought to wait for Lita. What do you think, Hank?
She'll be here.
Well, did you talk to her? Is she on her way?
Yeah, she's on her way.
All right. If Buster's willing, we'll use the office when Guilford gets here.
Sure.
So, Hank, you tell the others to be ready and waiting.
Yeah, sure thing.
Come on, Buster.
Right, Johnny. What's on your mind?
Well, maybe it's just a hunch, nothing more. But I want to get on that phone in the office. I called Armont College first. Yes, Miss Martha Woodbury had left there only last night. So she couldn't have been here when Mike Kirbey was killed. A call to Chester's Hangout, a private gambling club in Reno, indicated the same thing. Call number 3 was to the so-called museum where Hank Kirbey worked with the snakes, a place within easy driving distance of Lake Mojave. But the records showed he hadn't left the place in 2 weeks until this present trip to be here. Lolita? Well, the manager of the club in Las Vegas said she hadn't missed a show. Daytimes? Well, who knew? But she was there every night. Then I suddenly remembered something about the geography of Lake Mojave.
Yeah, Johnny. Cottonwood Landing is only about 25 miles north on the west, the Nevada side of the lake.
Could that boat we saw in the cove?
Sure. That's where it came from. I knew there was something familiar about it. Hey, what are you going to do, Johnny?
Kingman.
Operator, get me Cottonwood Landing, please.
Yes, sir.
It's one of their rental boats, Johnny. Yes, sir, I'm sure of it.
Any number? Any identification on it?
All that I didn't see. Anyhow, they rent so many to fishermen every day.
Uh-huh.
Hey, here comes Lawyer Guilford driving up.
Good.
Cottonwood.
Hello, this is Johnny Dollar, Special Investigator.
Yes, sir. What?
I want to know if you rented a boat today to a girl named Lolita Laverne.
Laverne?
I'll meet him, Johnny, and I'll bring them all in here.
Okay.
No, sir. Nobody by that name rented today.
Well, what about Friday? Friday afternoon.
Friday?
Yeah, that's right.
Well, the only women we rented to on Friday was old lady Newberry, down from Canada for a couple of days.
No, this is a young girl.
Well, the other was a Miss Hancock.
Hancock?
Lucy Hancock.
Okay. Thanks very much.
I've never seen him.
Johnny, this is Lawyer Guilford. Lawyer, Mr. Johnny Dollar.
It's a pleasure, Mr. Dollar.
How are you, sir?
Now, if you'll all please sit down.
All righty.
I'm a little pressed for time, so I'll waste none in getting to the reading of Michael Kirby's will.
Good.
Well, you don't think we ought to wait for Lita to get here?
It won't be necessary. No. I possess a full accounting of the net value of Mr. Kirby's estate.
Excellent.
It may surprise you, by the way.
Fine.
This will confirms that valuation. It is dated, by the way, just 5 months ago.
You must have made it out right after.
Oh, look, let's get to the will. Now, let's read it.
Yes, come on.
Please. His real property consisted only of his clothes, then the outboard motorboat, and an old car which he transferred to the Lake Mojave resort, together with the sum of money to provide for his living here.
How much?
Only $10,000.
Oh, well, good.
Some years ago, he turned all other of his real property, including some rather important real estate and business holdings, into cash.
Well, where is all the cash deposited now?
Yes.
Surely you aren't considering adding bank robbery to your rather questionable career, Henry.
Martha, that is quite uncalled for. Now, why don't we proceed with the will?
Yeah.
There is one asset specifically set aside that perhaps I should mention since it concerns Mr. Dollar.
He is the beneficiary?
Oh, no. I refer to the insurance policy for $5,000.
Well, don't worry about a piddling amount like that. Let's have the will, man.
The insurance policy is to cover burial expenses and nothing else. All of it is to be used.
Okay. Let's have the rest of the will.
Yes.
And to leave all out.
Very well. I, Michael Jonathan Kirbey, do make, ordain, and declare this instrument to be my last will and testament.
Oh, why don't you skip that stuff?
Please.
Being of sound mind and body, determined to enjoy the fruits of an industrious life to the fullest.
The bequests, man.
Life to the fullest. And rather than burden others with the responsibility that money demands.
What?
For these and other reasons, I have carefully spent every dollar I ever owned.
No, he was out of his mind. He couldn't do that.
That is the will of Michael Jonathan Kirbey in its entirety. Good day. Good day.
What fools we've made of ourselves. What fools. And it's no less than we deserve. I only wish that Lucy had been here.
Wait a minute. Lucy?
Yes, Lucy. Her real name, her proper name, not Lolita Laverne. It's Lucy Hancock Woodbury. But as I told you before...
Now listen, all of you. You're to stay right here. Stay in your rooms.
Oh?
What's the point? Now we know the contents of that stupid will.
Yeah. By
Buster,
what
call
right,
you-
Chief Harding? Tell him to stand by in case these people get itchy feet.
Right.
What little I'd done so far in this case was based on nothing but hunches. So when 10, then 11 p.m. came and Lolita, Lucy Hancock Woodbury, hadn't arrived, I acted on another hunch.
Sure, Johnny. My room is right next door to the office, so if this leader arrives and signs in, I'll let you know right away.
No, Buster, no.
Huh?
Just sign her into a room after you've done a little tampering with the register.
What do you mean?
Chester is in number 6, isn't he?
That's right.
All right. Change that on the register to number 8.
That's this one, your room.
That's right. And be sure that Lita sees the register.
I don't understand.
You don't have to, Buster. Let's just hope she gets here. Buster left. And with my door ajar, I turned off the light and lay on the bed and waited. It must have been after midnight when I heard the car pull in. Heard Buster admit someone to a room a couple of doors down the line and then go back to his own. Then, silence. Then the quiet click of feminine footsteps approaching my door. Quickly, in the darkness, I lit a cigarette, held the glowing end away from my face.
Well, darling.
Yeah, about time.
About time you got some sense, Chet. No, don't turn on the light. The others asleep. Their rooms are dark.
Uh-huh.
Listen, dear cousin, have you lost your mind?
Hmm?
Shooting at that boat from over the ridge between the two coves. What were they? Police? Detectives? You should have known you couldn't have hit them that far away, Chet. Should have waited till they got on shore looking for me.
Well.
Did they fall for the rattlesnake bite we made on the old man?
Uh-huh.
Well, they'll never find the needle I used. It's at the bottom of the lake. And look, if the cops question you, I hope you had sense enough to remind them what Martha and Hank do for a living.
No chance.
And what about the will?
Would you be surprised?
What? Say that again, Chet. Say anything. You sound like somebody else.
Yeah, like Johnny Dollar. Let's have some light.
Dollar?
That's right, Special Investigator.
Oh, no. Let me out of here!
Now, where do you think you're going?
No, let me go of me!
Come on now.
Yeah, all 4 of them had wanted to see old Mike dead. But Hank, the only honest working man of the lot, didn't have the brains. Martha wouldn't have used the means that tied in with her toxicology work, and probably didn't have the nerve. So Chet, who lived by his wits, and Lita, who was a real cheap, no-account... Well, the courts will take good care of them. And I still have to chuckle over poor old Mike's will. Being of sound mind, I have spent all my money. Which reminds me, expense account total, including transportation back to Hartford, $331.25. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
From Hollywood, it's time now for Johnny Dollar.
Pat McCracken, Johnny, Universal Adjustment Bureau.
Oh, hi, Pat.
Johnny, you've handled a lot of difficult cases for the companies we represent. You've done a magnificent job. Saved some of them a lot of money.
Huh?
Sometimes nipped things in the bud even before they've happened.
Pat.
And there have been times when you've given up personal plans to take them on at a moment's notice and without question.
Listen, that bush you're beating around is getting pretty big.
All right, then I'll get to the point. Johnny, why don't you take yourself a holiday at company expense?
What?
Lake Mojave Resort, maybe, where I understand you love to fish.
At company expense, huh?
That's right.
Okay, Pat, I'll grab the first plane.
Good boy.
But, brother, just wait till you see the expense account I pile up for you.
Why, Johnny...
Because if I ever smelled a rat, believe me, it's now. Bob Bailey in the exciting adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account.
America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to the Universal Adjustment Bureau, Home Office, Hartford, Connecticut. Following is an account of expenses incurred during my investigation of the Wayward Trout matter. Expense account item 1, $174.50, plane fare, Hartford to Los Angeles and Los Angeles to Las Vegas. Item 2, $50, deposit on a rental car. I headed south on Route 95. The Mojave Desert. Thousands of square miles of sand, sun-bleached gravel and rock, of cactus, sage, and Joshua trees. High flat mesas, towering crags. Countless trails leading off from the highway. Long-abandoned roads leading up into the harsh, bleak mountains, with their promise of infinite wealth to the prospectors who scratched away in their hungry search for silver and gold. And who knows, perhaps some of these were trails of the pioneers who beat a tortuous path westward to the great Pacific, who, with their oxen and heavy wagons, were lucky if they made 6 miles a day. Yet here I was, cruising along at an easy 60 miles an hour. And above me, a jet plane, lazily tearing off 600 miles an hour. Yeah, it made me think about the men who lived and struggled here, the men who died of hunger and thirst following the same path I was taking, never knowing that only a few miles away beyond the mountains was the mighty Colorado. Water, food, and life for those lucky enough to find it. But let's get to more practical things, like Davis Dam and huge Lake Mojave. On the east bank at the lower end, Lake Mojave Resort, with its clean, modern cabins, boathouse, dock, and harbor. Everything for a fisherman. It was after 9 p.m. when I pulled in. My old friend Buster Faber was waiting for me.
By golly, Johnny, I'm glad to see you.
Yeah, same here, Buster. How are you? Before you start on why I'm here, how's the fishing?
You remember Ham Pratt, the general manager?
Sure do. How is he?
Went out 3 days in a row, got 3 limits, 5, 6, 7 pounders.
Oh, and I have to come here on business.
Yeah, but as soon as you clear it up, you and I are going to do some fishing.
Believe me, we'd better. But now, what's the problem?
Oh, well, here, let me take your bags. You're in number 8.
Okay.
I've put you right next to Mr. Hatch.
Hatch?
Old-time confidence man, Johnny, and just plain big-time thief.
Oh, Gordon Hatch?
That's the one.
Used to operate up in San Francisco, over in Reno?
Tried Las Vegas, too, but they ran him out.
Sure. He served a couple of short stretches for petty theft, things like that. But they could never nail him for anything big.
That's right. Sit down.
Yeah. Well, what's he doing here?
Oh, ordinarily, we'd give a man like that some excuse about being full up, something like that.
I should think so.
But Ham and I decided if we let him stay, and with somebody like you here, well, maybe we could do a kind of public service.
Keep talking, Buster.
Well, Tuesday morning, I got a call from some wealthy folks in Los Angeles. They wanted accommodations for themselves and their wives beginning tonight. They're doing now.
So?
Well, Tuesday afternoon, this Gordon Hatch came barreling in. My wife, Marilyn, not knowing who he was, put him in number 7.
What are you getting at, Buster?
Well, those folks from L.A. have been here before, Johnny, and the women always come with enough furs and jewelry
to a fishing resort?
Well, you see, every night they drive up to Vegas to gamble and take in the fancy night spots.
Ah, but what makes you think Hatch would come here just because of them?
One of them's a lawyer that got him sent up for embezzlement once, and Hatch always swore that someday he'd get even.
Oh, well, now, Buster...
I don't think he'd try any rough stuff, anything like that. He isn't the type, but... Well, that's why I called Hartford.
Well, what's the insurance angle?
There isn't any. Unless a lot of heavily insured jewelry suddenly disappears from around here. And your man in Hartford was willing to play along with that.
Yeah, I see.
Well, so do I. I see we have another guest, Buster. How do you do? My name is Gordon Hatch.
Mr. Hatch, this is Johnny Dollar. He's come for a few days fishing, same as you.
Excellent. We must go out together, Mr. Dollar. I found a couple of wonderful spots.
Yeah, I understand you had pretty good luck, sir.
Oh, didn't Ham Pratt tell you about the big one I got over near Sculpture Rock? Nearly 10 pounds. I'm keeping him in a live box so I can take him back to Los Angeles and have him stuffed.
Live box?
Yes.
It's a big sort of box made of heavy screen, Johnny. You leave it in the water, it'll keep the fish alive for days.
That's right.
Well, aren't you afraid somebody will walk off with them?
Oh, the nice people who come to this nice place? Of course not. And as a fisherman, I'm sure you know that even the worst crook in the world wouldn't touch another man's catch.
Yeah.
Look, excuse me, I hear some cars coming down the road. Must be the folks I'm expecting.
Why, of course, Buster.
I'll see you later.
Right.
Any plans for the evening, Mr. Dollar?
Oh, not particularly. I'm a little tired.
Then come along into my cabin next door. Have some excellent scotch and plenty of soda.
Oh, well, I've had a pretty long day.
Now, look, we can relax and regale each other with tall tales about the big fish we've caught here and there. After all, there isn't anything else to do out here of an evening.
Oh, I kind of thought I'd wander down to the dock and see if Ham Pratt is about.
Oh, save that for tomorrow. Now, come along, Mr. Dollar. I won't take no for an answer.
Actually, I was glad for the invitation. I wanted to know more about this man, sound him out if possible, about his real reason for being here. As it turned out, we spent a very pleasant evening talking entirely about fishing. Only once, in answer to a pretty direct question, did he speak about what I wanted him to.
That is all water over the dam, Mr. Dollar. If it's possible to make amends for some of the, shall we say, questionable things I may have done in the past, well, I can only assure you that I'm sincerely trying to make such amends. Please don't embarrass me this way again.
Yeah, sorry.
Now, tomorrow we'll go fishing.
Well,
I'll not only take you to one of the hottest spots on the lake, but I'll show you the beauties I have in the live box. You'll turn green with envy. Right, Cap?
Well, it's been a pretty long day, and I really should hit the sack.
So should I. So, here we go. Bottoms up, and may tomorrow bring us each a limit.
That I will drink to.
Now, there we are. And I'll see you at the crack of dawn. Sleep well.
Right. Right? Wrong. Sure, I was tired. It had been a long day. But not long enough to make me drop off to sleep almost before I could get out of my clothes. That nightcap had a lot more than scotch in it. Yeah, I'd fallen for one of the oldest tricks in the world. And until I woke up, anything could happen. What is it?
Hey, Johnny.
Huh? Oh, it's Buster.
You all right in there, Johnny?
Oh, sure, I'm all right. Here, look. Holy, what time is it anyway?
Almost 9 o'clock. Oh, look at those big red eyes.
You aren't kidding. I feel as though Where's Gordon Hatch?
Went out fishing at the crack of dawn. Said you'd promised to go with him, but he pounded on your door and finally gave up. Johnny, you look like you...
Hey, Buster, the folks you were expecting in from Los Angeles.
Yeah, they came right after I left you and Mr. Hatch last night. 6 of them. I figured you wanted to be alone with Hatch to sort of feel him out.
Yeah, I did. But is everything all right?
Yeah, so far as I know. The point is, did you learn anything from Mr. Hatch last night?
Only that he claims to have turned over a new leaf, is now the soul of integrity.
Yeah? Well, I wonder.
You say he's out fishing, huh?
That's right.
You know where he went?
Well, one of his favorite holes, one I told him about, is in the big basin about 10 miles up the lake.
What about the folks from L.A.?
They're still asleep in their cabins. Look, Johnny, like I told you, Hatch isn't the kind of trying any rough stuff, even against Mr. Fellows, the lawyer who sent him up one time.
And he's here with that party?
He's the one that organized it, made the reservations. Now, listen, Johnny, I may be all wrong about Hatch.
In spite of his threat to get even with Fellows?
Well, I mean, maybe he's gone straight. He certainly acts like a nice enough guy.
Yeah. Well, the only thing I can do is keep an eye on him. If he makes a play, I'll nab him. If he doesn't, well, my trip out here will have been wasted.
Wasted? I thought you and I were going to do some fishing.
Oh, well, now that's different. Ooh. Hey, I better get some breakfast in me.
Yeah, sure. I'll tell Mary over at the cafe to have it ready for you.
Yeah, okay, Buster. Sunny side up and with plenty of strong, dark black coffee. My head felt like it might split open any second, and I was more sure than ever that Hatch had poured me a Mickey last night. Yet he had expected me to go out on the lake with him this morning. Must have been nearly 10 a.m. by the time I'd showered, shaved, dressed, and joined Buster at the little cafe. Already, half a dozen early morning anglers had come back to boast about their catches, and the big ones had got away.
Now, don't you tell us all, Buster, but that big one, Buster, he must have been 8.5 pounds.
Yeah, I'm sure it was, Mr. Hector.
Well, the place I lost him was in the second cove this side of the dam by the big square rock.
Second cove this side of the dam, did you say?
That's right next to the big square rock.
Hey, Jim, I know a great spot for us to try this afternoon.
Yeah, I heard that, too. Now, don't you tell us all about that spot, Buster.
Cross my heart, Mr. Hector.
Good. Say, Henry, I want to tell you about a place I found this morning.
You feeling any better, Johnny?
Yeah, much. Now, listen. If Gordon Hatch is up here after the money and jewelry of Mr. Fellows and his party, or for any reason at all connected with them,
Yeah?
I think you and I had better hop into a boat and get...
Mr. Favor.
Oh, yes, Miss Fellows. Good morning.
Please come outside quickly.
Come on, Johnny.
Right.
Miss Fellows, this is Johnny Dollar, friend of mine, special investigator.
Oh, thank goodness you're here, Mr. Dollar. Buster, we'd been robbed.
What? When, Mrs. Fellows?
Sometime during the night. All our jewelry, Mrs. Harkins and Mrs. Peterson's and mine. Why, it must be hundreds of thousands of dollars worth. My diamond brooch alone
I
is
see
worth...
you found him, Martha.
Yes, Ralph. Oh, this is Mr. Dollar, and he's some kind of an investigator.
Good. I've heard of you, Dollar.
I've told them, Ralph, about the jewelry.
Yeah, well, whoever did it got our money, too. With all we brought along to gamble in Vegas, must be over $20,000. And how he managed to sneak into our cabins...
And without waking us, too.
Of course, we were pretty tired last night.
Well, good morning.
Oh, Mr. Pratt.
Oh, what seems to be... Johnny, glad to see you.
How are you, Ham? I got some bad news for you.
Yeah, Ham, it looks like he's done it.
Oh? Gordon Hatch?
Yeah. Better make a thorough search of his cabin.
Gordon Hatch?
Oh, no.
I'm afraid so.
Great Scott.
So, Ham, look in his luggage, under the mattresses, anywhere else you can think of.
Right, Johnny.
Mr. Dollar, do you mean to say that Gordon Hatch is here at this point?
Better look in his car, too, Ham. Under the car and the upholstery.
Look here now, Mr. Dollar.
Sorry, Mr. Fellows. I'll have to talk to you later. Come on, Buster. You and I are going for a boat ride. Lake Mojave was calm as a mill pond, and Buster made the spray fly as we headed almost due north up toward the big basin. But we didn't have to go that far. Buster, with the sharpest eyes I've ever known, spotted the ripples from the wake of a boat that had pulled into a deep, winding cove on the Arizona side.
Hang on, Johnny. Looks to me like Hatch's boat went in that cove.
You mean to say you can tell what boat made that wake?
Plain as a pair of footprints in the sand when the lake is calm like this.
First thing I want to do is inspect that boat of his.
You think he might have the jewelry and money on board?
He's too smart to have left them around the cabin or his car.
Look, that's his boat in there, all right. Tied up that low, rocky ledge that sticks out.
What under the sun is he doing there, between his boat and that ledge?
Well, it looks to me like he's trying to hide something there in the water. But we'll soon find out.
Well, Buster, Mr. Dollar, it looks like you've caught me in the act.
Yeah, it kind of looks that way, doesn't it, Hatch? What were you so busy shoving down in the water between your boat and that ledge when we pulled out?
I figured no one would find it here, Mr. Dollar.
Yeah, I'll bet.
But I decided to move the live box into this hidden cove when I first came out this morning.
The live box?
Well, after all, it was you who warned me someone might try to steal some of these beautiful fish I've caught, and I'm keeping alive in it. But as long as you found me out, well, here, take a look at it.
Now, listen here on his boat, Johnny.
Here, look at them. Ever see such a nice mess of bass in your life?
Yeah, they're beauties.
And that trout on the bottom. I got him way up the lake yesterday morning. Must be 10 pounds.
That's the one you plan to have stuffed?
That's the one.
Well, you better have it done pretty soon. He looks dead to me.
Yes, he was this way when I came out this morning. So, when I'm through fishing today, I'll head back to L.A. with him to a taxidermist.
Hatch, there's something I want to talk to you about.
I know, Dollar. But it's your own fault.
Huh?
I pounded on your door till I thought I'd wake the dead.
Oh, no, that isn't what
However, since you're here now, well, why not keep our fishing date now?
Mr. Hatch, will you please...
Darn it, though, I don't have an extra rod in my boat.
Well, come on, Johnny. I'll give you one out of my boat, rod and reel.
Oh, yeah, sure, okay.
Dollar, I'll take you to fishing spots even Buster doesn't know about.
Not a sign of the jewels and stuff on his boat, Johnny. He even went through his tackle box. Well, maybe he's hidden the stuff somewhere along the shore. If he's the one who took it.
He looks and talks as innocent as a baby. So the only thing I can do is keep an eye on him, try to feel him out.
Come on, boys. Time's a wasting.
Oh, here, Johnny, you try this rod on for size.
Well, that looks good to me.
And here, take along a couple of these fast strike minnow hooks. If anything, they'll get you big bass. They sure will.
Yeah, or maybe a trout like the one that Mr...
What's the matter, Johnny?
Come on, Buster.
What? What's the matter?
Well, it's about time. What were you two gabbing about over there?
Say, Hatch, I want another look in the live box at that big trout.
I don't blame you a bit. Well, step into the boat and I'll raise the top so you can really see it.
No, I think I'll pull the whole contraption up here on the ledge.
That'll take the fish out of the water.
Well, you said that trout was dead early this morning.
Well, that's right.
Then why is he on the bottom of this thing? Why isn't he floating belly up? Here now.
I don't know, but I don't see what... Now, wait, what are you doing? Oh, those beautiful fish in there will die like the trout.
Oh, I just want a real close look at that trout.
Oh, just a minute.
These live ones will hold still long enough for me to...
Dollar, put them back in the water.
Here we are. Ooh, 10 pounds?
Look here now.
Why, this fish weighs 20 pounds if he weighs an ounce.
Dollar?
And no wonder the way you've got him stuffed full of... Oh, how about this? A beautiful diamond brooch. No wonder you decided to get back to L.A. And not to stuff this trout, but to unstuff him. And how about this bracelet? Emeralds, aren't they? And look at these nice new $100 bills. A bit wet, perhaps?
You're holding more than money and jewels in your hand, Dollar.
Oh, now, put that thing away.
I'm talking about your life. And I won't hesitate to pull this trigger unless you toss that money and those jewels into this boat.
While I toss this over at you, Mr. Hatch?
Put it down, Buster, or I'll shoot you, too. Toss me the jewels, Dollar. Toss them. And Buster, stay where you are.
How about the whole trout, Mr. Hatch? All right, drop that.
Boy, Johnny, you really clobbered him.
Yeah, but... Oh, Buster, if you hadn't thrown that oar...
And if you hadn't hit him in the face with that wet fish, Johnny, he would have plugged you.
Yeah, Buster. I always did like trout. Expense account total, including boat and bait for 5 days of really great fishing, cabin rental and meals, and trip back to Hartford, $815 even. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
From Hollywood, it's time now for...
Johnny Dollar.
Will you accept a collect call, Mr. Dollar?
Huh?
It's from Lake Mojave Resort in Arizona.
Oh, say no more, operator. Just put him on.
Well, yes, sir. Go ahead, please.
Hi, who is it this time? Buster Favor, Ham Pratt?
Johnny, this is Red.
Yeah, well, how's the fishing? Time for me to make another trek westward and find out from... Huh? Red?
That's right, Johnny.
Red who?
Well, you know the guide out here, Red Barrett.
The fishing guide?
Oh, yes, sir.
Who claims to know Lake Mojave like the back of his hand and every good spot there is in it?
And I do, Johnny. That's a fact.
Then I repeat my question. How's the fishing?
Just as fine as ever, if you know where the good holes are, that is.
And you do?
Yes, I do.
So you think it's high time I fly on out there and wet a line, is that it?
No, sir. That's not what I'm calling you about, Johnny.
Well, what is it?
I don't rightly think I ought to tell you over the phone, Johnny. But I think you better come here just about as quick as you can.
But unless I know why...
I'll tell you when you get here.
Well, look, I usually do my traveling on expense account for an insurance company.
And you can this time.
Huh? What company?
The one that insured him, the Greater Southwest Insurance.
Insured who, Red?
Johnny, I'll tell you all that when you get here.
Now look.
They tell me there's a plane leaves New York right at high noon.
Listen, Red.
That'll get you into Las Vegas about 9:45 tonight, okay?
Okay, listen.
Goodbye, Johnny.
Red! Crazy old coot. If he thinks for 1 minute that I'm going to get on. And yet, on second thought.
Bob Bailey in the exciting adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account, America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to the Greater Southwest Insurance and Liability Company, Kingman, Arizona office. Following is an account of expenses incurred during my investigation of the Mojave Red Matter. Expense account item 1420, phone call to the Kingman, Arizona office of Greater Southwest Insurance and Liability. On the theory it might be well to check with their agent, Jake Kessler, before going off half-cocked.
Hi, Johnny. Haven't seen or heard from you since 2 years ago when you came out here to investigate the murder at the old Midas touch mine.
Yeah, I remember, Jake. Now, listen.
Yeah?
Is everything going along okay these days?
What?
Well, I mean, no trouble with any of your clients, that sort of thing, huh?
Why, not a bit, Johnny. Why do you ask?
Just wondered.
Well, if I did have, you know who I'd call.
No problems at all, huh?
I told you, not a... Hey, just what do you got stuck in your craw, Johnny?
Nothing. I just...
Well?
Well, tell me this. Any of your clients, policyholders, have any kind of trouble, accidents, anything like that, over at Lake Mojave Resort lately?
Ah, so that's what's eating you. Well, Johnny, that claim was legitimate. It's in the Home Office for settlement. The company will pay it, and that'll be that.
What claim?
So just you stop worrying about it and forget.
What claim, Jake?
No, sir, Johnny, there's not a single solitary thing for you to investigate out here. So just you forget it.
Hey, you know something, Jake? You've just convinced me there is something to investigate. So I'm grabbing the first plane I can.
Well, Johnny, I'd love to see you, but I swear...
What's more, I'm charging my expense account to your company.
Oh? And if you find out that I'm right and you're wrong...
Okay, Jake. Then you can shoot the crow and I'll eat it. Expense account item 2, $153 plane fare, Hartford to New York and New York to Las Vegas, Nevada. It was 9:45 on the dot as the big mainliner slowly circled down out of the clear, starlit sky. Unless you've seen the millions of stars that twinkle brightly through the clean, dry air over the Mojave Desert, you've really missed something. And as we glided down toward the landing strip on the south edge of Las Vegas, the multicolored lights of the fabulous resort town made it sparkle like a vast field of jewels. Beautiful. Yeah, and expensive. That is, if you insist on trying your hand at the gaming tables and the casinos that line the main drag. Believe me, brother, I know. But that's neither here nor there. As I grabbed my luggage and started for the car rental office, a tall, angular man, well-tanned and dressed in blue jeans, high-heeled boots, and 10-gallon hat sauntered over to me.
So you wouldn't take my word for it.
Oh, Jake.
That's right, Jake Kessler in person. And, Johnny, if you're here to investigate the claim on the Hobbs policy, well, there just isn't
Hobbs,
anything...
huh? Well, now I know that much. And suppose you tell me who Hobbs is, or was.
I'll tell you all about it, and when I have, you can hop on another plane and go right on back to Hartford. And all at your own expense. I still don't see whatever made you come out here, Johnny.
Apparently the Hobbs matter, so start telling me. Well, come on, Jake, come on.
All right, Johnny. All right, Elmer P. Hobbs, real estate in Los Angeles. Came over to the Lake Mojave Resort about 2 weeks ago, spent a few days fishing with his old pal, the guide they have there.
You mean Red Barra?
Yeah.
Well, okay, go on.
And on Tuesday, a week ago, he rented one of the boats and went out by himself. Apparently he went up to a place called the Big Basin.
Yeah, I know it well. The lake's 3 or 4 miles wide up there.
Yeah, well, that afternoon, a big wind came up, regular screamer. All the other boats came back to the landing, and all but Mr. Hobbs.
Oh?
The next morning, when the wind died down, they found his body washed up on the shore on the Nevada side.
That's all?
That's all.
You say a claim has been filed?
That's right, by one of his 2 beneficiaries.
Who?
His business partner back in L.A., Mr. Stuart Manley. I've passed the claim, and the company will pay it.
No investigation of any kind?
Oh, of course there was, Johnny. The Kingman Police, the Sheriff's Office, and the County Coroner. Accidental death due to drowning. So that's it, Johnny. Now you just make your reservation back to Hartford at that window right over there, and you are paying the freight.
Oh, not so fast, Jake. I'm sticking around.
Well, now you can see for yourself there's no reason for you to be here, much less at company expense.
Well, after all, now that I am here, it'd be kind of silly not to run down to the lake.
Well, you mean just to do some fishing on your own time.
You want to drive me down there?
Johnny.
Yeah?
Johnny, do you know something about the Hobbs case that I don't? And the police and the sheriff.
Jake, I don't know a thing about it.
Okay, Johnny. How do you want me to fix that crow you're going to eat?
Elmer P. Hobbs of Los Angeles had died of drowning when his small boat capsized in a high wind on Lake Mojave. At least that's what Jake Kessler, his insurance agent, told me. Accident pure and simple, he said, and I could hie myself back to Hartford and forget about it. But I didn't. Simply because of the phone call I'd received from old Red Barrett, fishing guide at Lake Mojave Resort. I persuaded Jake to drive me over there on the excuse that as long as I was nearby, I might as well do some fishing. So he dropped me off, and since it was after midnight, went on back to Kingman. I wandered on down to the dock and boathouse.
Hello? Who's that?
Ham?
Huh? Johnny? Johnny Dollar?
Yeah.
Johnny Dollar?
Hi.
What are you doing here?
Hiya, Ham.
Hey.
You know darn well what he's doing here, Ham. The fishing has never been better. Only how'd you get the word? And how are you, Johnny?
Oh, just great, Buster.
Did you stop by the office, let Marilyn fix you up with a room?
No, because as I recall, old Red usually sleeps here on the dock.
Oh, Red.
Well, why do you say it that way, Buster?
Because Ham and I are wasting good sleeping time down here, wondering why he hasn't come in yet.
You mean he's still out on the lake?
Yes, the crazy
But it's as black as the ace of spades out there.
And no moon tonight.
Buster and I were about to take off and about to look for him.
He pulled this very same stunt night before last. We finally found him drifting around about 9 miles up.
He said he'd run out of gas. Showed his empty tank to prove it.
Yeah, but we knew better.
What do you mean, Buster?
I mean, when he saw us coming after him, he dumped out what gas he had. Oil slick all over the lake. If somebody'd struck a match, why?
You know, Red's been doing a lot of crazy things this past week or so. Ever since his old friend, Mr. Hobbs, died, they were pretty close.
And that is why he phoned me.
Red phoned you?
Yeah, early this morning. And if you ask me, it's because he doesn't believe Mr. Hobbs' death was accidental.
Johnny?
You know something? I didn't quite believe it myself. Well, sure, we have some pretty big winds on the lake now and then, and it was a big one that day. Yeah, and then when the coroner and the other authorities, well, who's to argue with them?
Do you know if Red has found out anything? Anything at all?
All we know is he's given up taking out fishing parties and spends all his time prowling around the lake every day.
And night. Says if he can find the boat Mr. Hobbs used...
What kind of a boat was it?
One of our regular rentals, an aluminum Arkansas Traveler.
Yeah, with a 10-horse Johnson on it.
Well, listen. Those boats have flotation tanks.
Why, yeah.
So even if it did capsize, it wouldn't sink.
You're right, Johnny.
And there's been no sign of it?
None at all.
Then let's go up to the lake and find Red. Except for the stars far overhead, the night was black as ink. And the 50-horse outboard skimmed along at better than 30 miles an hour. Believe me, it was a strange feeling, almost like flying through space. How Buster found his way around the islands, rocky points, and reefs, I'll never know, but he did.
Throw your flashlight over to the left, Ham. You ought to be about even with Sculpture Rock.
Yep, there it is.
And we're coming into the big basin.
Would you please tell me how you ever expect to find Red in all this darkness?
Oh, don't worry about him. He hears us coming. He'll signal by striking a match or something.
Sure, Johnny, no matter how crazy you are, you never let somebody wander around in the dark looking for you out here.
Red knows that because he's had to come out and hunt for too many people at night himself.
Ham, look.
Yeah?
On the east shore. I'm swinging over there.
Hey, you're right. There's a fire on the beach.
Yeah, it must be Red.
What's he doing out here?
We'll soon find out. Hang on.
Well, all I have to say is you took long enough to bring Johnny up here.
Red, you old reprobate, what under the sun are you up to this time?
I just told you. I've been waiting for you to bring Johnny. Now you can leave us and go on back to the dock. And I thank you very much.
Red, we're not leaving until we find out what this is all about.
And if I tell you, would you promise to leave us alone?
Sure, we'll promise anything.
Oh, you see, I need Johnny's help.
Yes, well?
Because with him to follow up what I found today, well, Johnny, you and I are going to prove that my old friend Mr. Hobbs was murdered.
I'll tell you this, Johnny. Red here is one of the wildest, most irresponsible old characters I know when he wants to be. But he's okay nonetheless. And if he thinks you and he can find proof that Mr. Hobbs was murdered, well, he must have a good reason for it.
Well, Red?
Oh, now, Ham, do you think a man like Elmer Hobbs, knowing the lake the way he did, but ever let the big wind catch him off guard up here in the basin?
No, I don't, Red. I know that's the way Buster felt about it, too.
Well, I said that to you myself, Red.
But now, what's this proof you have of murder?
Well, Ham and Buster, aren't you going on back now that I've told you why I wanted you to bring Johnny here?
Was there any harm in our knowing what you found, Red? After all, we might be able to help you and Johnny.
Yeah, I thought about that, but you see, I might just possibly be wrong about... Well, I might just be wrong, and I wouldn't want to be ashamed in front of a lot of people.
By a lot, you mean 3.
Well, that's 3 times as many as just Johnny here.
Oh, well, now look,
No,
Red.
Johnny, he means it, so Ham and I will go on back to the dock.
But I still don't see what difference.
Johnny, when you get to know Red as well as we do, you'll stop trying to figure out the whys and wherefores of some of the things he does and what makes him tick. But you'll also learn that in the long run, no matter how unorthodox some of those things are, well, oh, come on, Buster.
Right. See you when you get back to the dock, Johnny. Oh, you got some food, Red?
Now, you know I always keep something in my boat, Buster.
Okay.
Well, far be it from me, Red, but all I have to say is that whatever you think you found proof of, it sure better be something.
Oh, it is, Johnny. At least I think it is. Now, you just scrunch yourself a place to sleep in the sand. It's pretty late.
Huh?
Well, it took you so long to get here, and we can't see anything in the dark anyway.
Oh, now look, Red, for heaven's sake.
Good night, Johnny. Sleep well.
And that was the end of our conversation. And I began to wonder if Jake Kessler hadn't been right in the first place. If I hadn't come out here on a wild goose chase after all. But the more I wondered and thought about it, with nothing but the warm desert night about us, and the twinkling stars, the magic sound of fish jumping in the lake, the sleepier I got. So I slept. The smell of bacon frying over the campfire awakened me, although the sun still hadn't shone over the mountains that border the eastern side of the lake.
Douse your face in the lake, Johnny. Then grab yourself some of this bacon and eggs.
I did as I was told. Then, squatting in the sand in front of the fire, stuffed away a hearty breakfast of bacon, eggs, and pancakes made from sourdough. And you know, there's something about a meal cooked over a campfire that, well, we had other things to do. So we climbed into Red's old aluminum boat and slowly drove up the lake, staying close to shore. Finally, we reached a small rocky cove.
Right here is the spot, Johnny. This little cove.
The spot for what, Red? You know, you still haven't told me.
You see there? You see where somebody has climbed up the rocks?
No, but I'll take your word for it.
Well, he couldn't have climbed up off of the water, so he must have climbed out of a boat.
So?
And there's footprints leading away across the desert. And, Johnny, they aren't Elmer Hobbs' footprints, no, sir.
So somebody climbed out of a boat here for one reason or another and took a walk into the desert.
The man who killed Elmer Hobbs.
What makes you think so?
Look down over the side, in the water.
Yeah, a boat sunk down there.
That's the boat that Elmer had. Can you see it clear?
Yes, very.
Then you can see it wasn't damaged enough to sink it. Not that boat.
You're right, Red. Particularly since it has flotation tanks.
But it's down there. It's sunk. So you better strip to your shorts, Johnny.
Yeah. I'll go down and take a look.
Me? I already have. But I want you to look, Johnny. And remember, I knew everything that Elmer had in his boat when he left the dock. Remember that.
Okay. And you're sure the footprints leading into the desert couldn't possibly have been made by Mr. Hobbs?
That I'll swear to, Johnny, by all that's good and holy.
Now then.
Now, slip in easy so you won't disturb the water too much.
I took a deep breath, surface dived, and swam down to the sunken boat. And the water was clear, and I could see plainly. And I saw that Red was right. I bobbed back to the surface.
Did you see him? The cut?
Yeah, Red. Those flotation tanks were slashed open with an axe or a sharp, heavy tool of some kind.
But Elmer had no axe on that boat. So it was somebody else, Johnny. Somebody who murdered him. Yeah. And then sank the boat.
Red, I'm afraid you're right. Elmer Hobbs was murdered. So there you have it, Jake. And if I were you, I'd call off payment on that claim immediately. Granted, the case isn't over yet. I still have the job of finding out who killed Elmer Hobbs. But you know something? You're going to have to wait for my next report. Meantime, expense account total to the moment, $159.20, including the cost of shooting and retrieving one crow. Jake, how would you like it cooked? Until the next report, then, yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
From Hollywood, it's time now for...
Johnny Dollar.
Here's your number in Kingman, Mr. Dollar.
Oh, thank you, operator.
One moment.
Jake Kessler.
Johnny Dollar, Jake.
Johnny. So you found out I was right. You left our fair state of Arizona and gone back to Hartford.
Wrong.
Huh? You mean you're still at Lake Mojave Resort?
I sure am.
And I'm still betting that you haven't found anything to indicate Elmer Hobbs' death wasn't accidental drowning.
Jake.
So your expenses will have to come right out of your own pocket instead of the company.
Listen.
As for that crow you talked about eating, how do you want it cooked?
Listen, will you?
What?
Have you mailed in the insurance claim yet?
Well, I was just about to run it over to the post office when your call came in.
Tear it up.
What?
Because, Jake, Elmer Hobbs was murdered.
Bob Bailey in the exciting adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account, America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to the Greater Southwest Insurance and Liability Company, Kingman, Arizona office. Following is an account of expenses incurred during my further investigation of the Mojave Red Matter. Expense account item 1, 20 cents for the phone call to Jake Kessler in Kingman. I made that call in the office there at Lake Mojave Resort. And needless to say, Jake didn't quite believe me at first.
Murdered? Elmer Hobbs was murdered?
Jake, I'd bet my last buck on it.
Yeah, but, Johnny, the police spent 2 or 3 days over there investigating. The coroner, too, and they all reported no evidence of foul play.
That's simply because they didn't know where to look.
What do you mean?
You know Red Barrett, the old fishing guide over here?
Well, I've heard of him.
Well, Red found the boat that Hobbs used that day. It was lying on the bottom of one of the coves up in the big basin.
Sure, because of the storm that drowned Elmer Hobbs.
Because somebody sank it. That boat had a couple of air tanks on it that would keep it afloat even if it was swamped.
Oh?
But, Jake, those tanks were cut open by whoever killed Hobbs.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
But who did it, Johnny?
That's what I'm going to find out. I'll call you later. I hung up on Jake Kessler, then walked on back to the dock where I found Red Barrett and Buster Favor waiting for me.
Did you get your call to Kingman through all right, Johnny?
Yeah, Red. Jake Kessler's holding up the claim on Elmer Hobbs' insurance.
Good. That's good.
Did you, tell Buster what we found up the lake?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Johnny, he did. It's like I said in the beginning. I just didn't see how a man like Mr. Hobbs could ever get himself capsized up in the big basin, no matter how bad a wind came up.
Buster was the only one that agreed with me, Johnny.
Well, quite frankly, I don't see why everybody wasn't suspicious when Hobbs' boat wasn't found after the storm.
Right, Johnny. But now that you and Red found it, sunk in the bottom of that cove and with the flotation tanks cut open, yeah, it sure looks like murder.
Oh, that's what I thought from the first, Buster. That's why I telephoned all the way to Hartford to get Johnny out here.
But who could have wanted to kill him? Any ideas, Buster?
No, sir, Johnny, I certainly haven't.
You sure there was nobody here at the resort who might have wanted him out of the way?
Johnny, the other folks who were here at the time it happened, why, they didn't even know Mr. Hobbs.
You're sure of that?
Absolutely. See, he wasn't much of a mixer. He stayed by himself all the time.
That's right, Johnny. Elmer used to go out fishing first thing in the morning, and he'd be the last to come in at night. He'd go to his room, cook his supper, and then go to bed.
All right, listen. He was killed just before or during the big storm you had.
That's right.
Who else was out on the lake at that time?
Nobody. Nobody from here, that is. All our people, all our boats were back here at the landing. They'd got the storm warning.
So don't you see, Johnny, it must have been somebody from up the lake.
What do you mean?
From one of the other landings.
What other landings?
Cottonwood, Emery's, any one of them. Yes, sir. Somebody sank his boat and tried to sink his body with it.
But we found his body washed up on the Nevada shore. You found it, Red.
Yes, I did. My best friend.
I dove down to that boat, Buster. And I found not only the bashed-in flotation tanks, but where the anchor line had apparently been lashed around the body to hold it there.
And you remember, Buster, the rope marks we found on Elmer's body?
Yeah, but the police, sheriff, and coroner, and the rest...
What did they say?
He probably just got tangled up in that rope when he was fighting the storm. But they were wrong.
Yeah, apparently.
Well, why do you say that, Johnny?
Well, because so far this evidence of murder is, well, it's all circumstantial. As for motive...
Motive? Well, I hadn't thought of that.
Red...
Well, the main thing is that cutting open the flotation tanks was done with some kind of an axe.
I was asking about motive.
And I know that Elmer didn't have any axe on that boat.
Did you find the axe, Johnny?
No. Now, Red...
I'll tell you what he had in his boat, beside his clothes, I mean.
Well, let's cover this motive thing.
He had the anchor, of course. That went with the boat.
Red.
He had a nice new Silaflex rod with a Mitchell 300 on it.
Yeah, but now look.
He had a long-handled net that he'd picked up somewhere in L.A., and an old beat-up McKinney tackle box full of plugs and spoons and a fish stringer. And that was all, Johnny. No axe. That was all he had.
Red, that bush you're beating around is getting pretty big.
Well, Johnny, I don't know what you mean.
Well, I asked you about possible motive, and so far all you've done is evade the question.
Now, why should I do that?
Well, that's what I want to find out.
Well, now, Johnny...
You know of anyone who might have wanted Mr. Hobbs dead? You say you knew him pretty well.
And I did, yes, sir.
Well?
No, sir. No, sir, I certainly don't.
You're sure?
Why, Elmer... Well, nobody could want to kill a fine man like him, Johnny. He was one of my best friends.
Yeah.
At least while ever he was here, I mean. I never knew anything about him in L.A., I mean.
He was in business back there, I understand.
That's right, with a man he called Stu Manley.
Wait a minute.
What is it, Johnny?
I'm going back to the office and call Jake Kessler again.
Yes, sir. Elmer was my best friend.
Come on. Come on up to the office with me, Buster.
Well, you can use the phone here on the dock, Johnny.
No. Come on. Red, we'll see you later.
I'll be here, sir.
You look like you just got hit with an idea, Johnny.
Yeah, and I'm afraid it isn't a very pretty one.
Oh?
Morning,
What
Buster.
is it, Johnny?
Any of the early fishermen come in yet?
Oh, yes, sir, Mr. Carson, and they picked up some nice bass up above the power line crossing.
Good. I was thinking of going up that way myself.
Yeah, well, good luck. Now, what were you going to say, Johnny?
Were Red and Mr. Hobbs such really good friends?
Well, they were always together when he came here. Of course, they were always fighting like cats and dogs over some silly thing or other, but didn't mean it. Oh, now, wait a minute, Johnny.
Was Red alone when he found Hobbs' body?
Yeah, he was, and he brought it back here. But now, look.
There weren't any other boats up the lake?
Yeah, there were, but Red was searching that particular part of the shore alone. But surely you don't
Jake
think...
Kessler told me something about Hobbs' insurance policy, but not quite enough.
Johnny, listen.
Come on, let's get to that phone.
Well, then, Johnny, don't you think you ought to call in the police?
No.
If you're right, that is.
No, let me handle this alone for the moment. Now listen, Jake.
Yeah?
Didn't you tell me that the insurance claim was filed by one of Hobbs' beneficiaries, plural?
That's right, by his business partner in L.A.
Who were the others?
Just one other. If you'd taken time to listen to me.
Who is it?
You were so all fired up when I drove you down
Who
there.
is this other beneficiary, Jake?
You're still sure Hobbs was murdered, huh?
I'll bet on it.
So now you're looking for somebody with a motive, huh?
The beneficiary, Jake.
Like I told you. One of them was his business partner, J. Stewart Manley.
And the other?
Red.
Red.
Yeah, Red Barrett.
Two people who I knew stood to gain by the death of Elmer Hobbs. One, his business partner, J. Stewart Manley in Los Angeles. The other, Red Barrett, fishing guide at Lake Mojave Resort, who said he'd found his body, who professed to have been his best friend. I wondered. I said as much to Buster Favors, who sat there in the office of the resort.
Red do a thing like that, I won't believe it, Johnny.
But he's the one person who could have engineered the whole thing, Buster.
But why, then, would he lead us to the place where Mr. Hobbs' boat was sunk? And point up the fact it was deliberately sunk, and an attempt made to sink Hobbs' body with it?
Oh, there's a cover-up? To make him look clean?
No, Johnny.
Well, the boat would have been found in that cove sooner or later anyway.
I tell you, you're wrong if you suspect Red. Look, if Hobbs' business partner is a beneficiary, too, why don't you look him up?
I fully intend to, unless Red did do it.
No.
And I can prove it.
No, Johnny.
Let's go back to the dock so I can talk to him again and see...
Buster, Oh, hello, Johnny.
I suppose you've heard, Ham?
Yes, Red told me. You're quite sure it was murder?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Listen, Buster.
Yeah. Look, Ham, as manager of this resort, you know Red pretty well.
I sometimes wonder. That's what I came up here to ask you about, Buster.
Huh?
Did you send him skiting out of here?
What?
We just left him down at the dock.
You mean you didn't see him tearing out of here in the pickup truck a few minutes ago?
What?
Ham.
Red?
Where'd he go?
I don't know, but he certainly left in a hurry.
Johnny.
Yeah.
No, I still can't believe it.
What are you boys talking about?
Nothing. Ham, is there a car around here I can use?
Oh, sure. Take mine. There are the keys.
Thanks. Now look.
Incidentally, Buster, I was poking around where Red kept his fishing tackle trying to find that rig he borrowed from me last week.
What did you find, Ham?
Well, I thought Buster might know where the old coot got hold of that new spinning outfit. Silaflex rod.
What?
Yeah, and a brand spanking new...
Mitchell Reel.
Oh, yes.
Oh, no.
All right, Ham. Buster, you just sit tight. If Red comes back here before I do...
Comes back?
Yeah, say nothing to him about what we've learned. Just keep him here and tell him I'll return to talk with him later. Nothing else.
But, Johnny...
No, do as I say.
Look, boys, what's going on
I'll
here?
see you later.
Well, now, Johnny...
Red was one of Elmer Hobbs' beneficiaries. He was the one who'd found the body. He had the fishing tackle that had belonged to Hobbs. And when it was discovered by Ham Pratt, he'd left in a hurry. All pretty incriminating. Which is not why I took off in Ham's car. West on 77, south on 95, and west again on 66. Item 4, $1 even for a sandwich and a Coke and Barstow. Item 5, $4.80 for a tank full of gas at the sign of the Flying Red Horse. Then westward again. And always with an eye out for Red in the old pickup truck. Finally, as the sun was disappearing over the edge of the Pacific, I pulled into Los Angeles. The real estate office of Manley and Hobbs was closed. A directory at the nearest phone booth gave me J. Stuart Manley's home address. 1308 Pandora Avenue in the residential section called Westwood. The neat white stucco house was dark, the garage empty. I let myself in through a back door by slipping the lock with the aid of one of my business cards. It was hard to see inside, but I didn't want to turn on any lights. And that was a mistake. Because as I quietly rounded a corner and started toward the den, I guessed wrong. Somebody was at home, was in that den behind the now closed door. And that somebody knew that I was in the house. There was only one thing to do, try to bull my way through. Well, Mr. Manley, you're just...
Oh, you killer! Wait a minute.
Oh. Red.
Johnny Dollar. Well, it kind of looks like I made a mistake, doesn't it?
Yeah, Red. The biggest mistake of your life. You know what common sense tells me, Red?
What, Johnny?
That you and J. Stuart Manley were in cahoots in the murder of Elmer Hobbs.
Oh, no, sir. You can't believe that.
You told us that Hobbs had a Silaflex rod, a Mitchell reel in his boat.
Yes, sir, he did. Just like the
We
rig.
found him, Red, among your things back at the lake.
Oh, you found mine, Johnny, that Elmer gave me to match his. Look. Now, look what I found here in Manley's closet. This was Elmer's rod and reel, Johnny.
What?
All strung up with a wobble right spoon on it, just the way he fished with it. And he could cast so accurate.
You're sure this was his?
Well, here's his initials right on the butt, and scratched on the reel, too.
E.H.
Yes, if you'd have looked, you would have found my initials on the rod there at the lake. But look here. Look what I found in the corner of this closet, all wrapped up, like to hide it.
The axe.
And I'm no detective, Johnny, but just look at these marks, like it was used to hack at some kind of thin metal.
The flotation tanks on that boat. Maybe you are a detective, Red, and a good one. But why did you come tearing in here to L.A.?
In the hopes, Johnny, I'd find these things. I thought from the first that Manley might be the one. Elmer never did really trust him. He told me that many a time.
But you didn't accuse him when I talked to you at the lake.
I wanted some proof.
Manley'd not only get a hunk of Hobbs' insurance, but a share of the business.
That's right, sir. Oh, well, I pulled a little trick on him, too.
What do you mean?
Well, I stopped along the way and I phoned him to make sure that he wouldn't be here for a while.
Well, what did you tell him?
I disguised my voice, Johnny, real good.
That voice of yours?
I told him that this was a friend, I said. That I thought he ought to know that you were working on the case.
Oh.
That if he'd left any evidence at Lake Mojave, he'd better get there and steer you away from it.
Red.
And that's the way I got him away from here so I could find this stuff.
But if he's gone to Lake Mojave...
Oh, I knew you could take care of him. And if I did find these things like I did, I was going to phone you there to be ready for him.
Well, then why did you attack me when I came in here?
Sorry, Johnny, but I thought maybe he'd got wise and come back and maybe recognized my voice after all.
Exactly what happened, Red.
Mr. Manley? Sir?
That's right, J. Stewart Manley. And this is my wife, Mr. Dollar. Red.
Shoot them. Kill them, Stewart. They're burglars, don't you see? And we caught them robbing the house.
Quiet, Mary.
I suppose that means we were right. That you did kill your partner, Elmer Hobbs.
That stupid old man, fishing all the time instead of tending to the office, taking all the money.
Mary.
But now we'll have some money for a change. Own the business.
Mary, shut up. I see you found old Elmer's things.
No, sir. This fishing rod is his, not yours.
Oh, put it down.
Pretty foolish of you to bring that stuff here, Manley. Especially the axe. I'm sure any good police lab will find traces of aluminum from the boat on it.
Kill him, Stewart. They're robbers. Their fingerprints will be all over.
Yeah, Mary's right. Your prowler's ransacking my house. And I can see the bulge of your pistol, Dollar. So any court in the land will uphold my right to kill you in self-defense. And Dollar, you go first.
Listen, you think you can shoot as straight as I can cast a fishing plug?
Huh?
Like this?
Oh, no.
No!
Oh, get back, Mrs. Manley. I'd hate to have to sock a woman.
But you hurt him.
Yeah, as badly as he hurt Elmer Hobbs.
And look, that horrible fishing plug. The hooks have ripped his hand open. It's bleeding. That red-headed old fool throwing those hooks at him.
Oh, quiet.
Stewart, dear Stewart.
Red, that was a beautiful piece of casting. He almost tore his hand off with that plug.
Well, Johnny, it was with Elmer's own rig. I think maybe he would have liked that. I hope so. But you know what I hope the most, Johnny?
What, Red?
That the fishing is real good up where Elmer is now.
Manley and his wife. Yeah, Red had figured right. The morning of the day that Hobbs was killed, they'd rented a boat out of Cottonwood Landing, a few miles up the lake. Then ambushed him there in the big basin. Bob Cole at Cottonwood had noticed the new rod and reel when they'd come back off the lake, just before the big storm. Had noticed the axe, too, when he'd wondered about it. Now he knows. So, from here on in, it's up to the sheriff's office and the courts. Expense account total, including return of Ham's car, a few days of fishing, and the trip back to Hartford, $307 even. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Johnny Dollar. Doesn't this nice weather kind of get under your skin, Johnny? Who's that? Make you want to be sitting in a boat on Lake Mojave, hauling in 5- and 6-pound bass? Maybe a really big one? Buster. That's right, Buster Favorite. Well, yeah. Where are you coming from? Right here at Lake Mojave Resort. And, Johnny, I've just picked up a new spinning rod and reel that I think you ought to give a workout. Oh, you dog. You know I have to work for a living, and, brother, I mean work. Isn't it pretty hard, huh? Too hard. Well, then it's time for you to relax a bit. Yeah, I know, but... Live longer, Johnny. You know the old saying. What old thing? The time a man spends in fishing is never deducted from his lifespan. So come on out here for a few days. Oh, Buster, I'd love it. And if there was some insurance problem that I could use as an excuse, Buster, is there? Well, yeah. You know there's something involving insurance that I ought to look into? Yeah. Then give it to me quick. Well, not the sort of thing I could very well explain over the phone. But unless I know what it is, what company's involved. But it could turn out to be something pretty important. And purely incidentally, the fish are biting like mad. That's right. Okay, Buster, what am I waiting for?
thrilling adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account. America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar. To the Greater Southwest Insurance Company, Los Angeles office, attention Mr. Royal J. Harkins. Following is an account of expenses incurred during my investigation of the Frantic Fisherman Matter. Roy, why kid about it? When I started this trip, I had no way of knowing that your company was involved. Knowing Buster Faber, I honestly figured that his mention of an insurance angle was just to give me a good excuse. But when you've read the facts in this report, I'm sure you'll agree that Greater Southwest should pay the old expense account without question. Yeah, and probably a nice extra fee to boot. All right. Item 1, $154.50 night flight from Hartford to New York to Las Vegas, Nevada. Item 2, $50 deposit on a rental car. I headed south and east to Lake Mojave Resort. To me, this place is the answer to a fisherman's prayer. The lake itself is over 60 miles long, averages about a mile wide. The resort is at the lower end, complete with modern accommodations, cafe, dock. Well, just about everything you could ask for. Ham Pratt, the general manager, Buster Faber and his wife Marilyn are the salt of the earth. And because of it, the customers are a pretty fine lot without exception. Almost.
I'm going to put you here number 18, Johnny.
Good, Buster. I'll feel right at home.
And here's a new spinning outfit I want you to try out.
7-foot Harnell.
Uh-huh. That's right. And a Mitchell 350, loaded with 4-pound test. So, as soon as you can change your clothes, we'll hit the lake.
Okay, now, this is all very nice, Buster, and I'll be changed in about 5 minutes. But...
Good, I'll be waiting at the dock.
But... until you tell me what the insurance angle is for my coming out here, or where I'm going to charge my expense account.
The answer to that is out on the lake.
Oh, sure. That was all just an excuse to get me out here to fish.
Wrong?
But as long as I'm here, I might as well... Wrong, did you say?
That's what I said.
Then start talking.
Sure, out on the lake.
Buster!
I'll meet you at the dock.
The big 35 on Buster's boat pulled us up the lake at an easy 30 knots. The day was clear, the weather warm. I could hardly wait to break out the tackle and get started. But Buster carefully passed up half a dozen holes where I knew there were fish. Instead, we kept going 5 or 6 miles up beyond the power line crossing. And then finally we nosed into a long, narrow, L-shaped cove. It extended back from the main body of the lake a couple of 100 yards with flat, rocky walls on either side. At the end, it angled off to the left for perhaps 100 feet. I knew there was a very deep hole there, but as we idled in toward it, I noticed another boat back there. And the man in it seemed to be using a mighty strange fishing technique. He had a long, heavy saltwater rod in his hand, and from the bend in the tip of it...
Now, how about that? Somebody feed us into this spot. Swing around and... Oh, fine. I guess that wire's jogged loose again.
But Buster, that man fishing down there at the end.
Don't let him notice, but keep an eye on him, Johnny. You know him? No, I can't say that I do. His name is Otis Hellman. Came over here from Los Angeles. You could see the way he was beating up the water with that rig he's using?
Yeah, I wondered about that rig. But he stopped the minute we were in sight.
Could you see what he had on the end of his line?
No. He let it drop down in his boat.
We'll just have to wait until he gets back to the dock.
There we are. Well, now, as long as this boat's taken, why don't we try a big basin up above?
Yeah, sure. Now, what did you mean, Buster, about that man in the boat?
Where'd you get a close look at that rig he's using?
Wait a minute. Otis Hellman, did you say?
That's right. In all the papers last week. Got out of prison over in California.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Fishing, huh?
At the end of that same cove, day after day. But if you ask me, that man isn't after fish.
Buster Faber and I went up to Sculpture Rock there on Lake Mojave. We caught fish, plenty of them. Nice big lunker bass. We also kept an eye open for the man who'd been so frantically working the little cove on the way up, using heavy saltwater tackle in a rather peculiar way. At sundown, we saw him pull out and head back to Lake Mojave Resort. So we followed him and set our speed to arrive at the dock just ahead of us.
Well, here we are, Johnny, back home same day.
Yeah.
Size up, Jim. Take care of these fish for us.
Sure thing, Buster. Hi, Mr. Dollar. How'd you make out? Oh, pretty good, Jim. Here you are.
Hey, you men did all right. Evening, Mr. Hellman. How'd you do today?
Nothing, Mr. Faber. Not a thing.
Oh? Where were you fishing?
All over the lake.
Didn't I see you in the long, narrow cove above the power line?
Yeah, maybe so. Hold on, Jim. Tie me up. Tie me up. Yes, sir. Sure.
Take a look, Johnny. Yeah.
Oh, I'll take care of the tackle myself.
Oh, sure. Anything you say. Anything you say. Hellman quickly swept the tackle from the end of his line into a fish stack. But I caught a glimpse of a couple of huge triple hooks with lead collars. They were big enough, heavy enough to catch a whale. A respectable freshwater bass couldn't even get one of them into his mouth. Back in my room over a scotch and soda, Buster and I talked about it.
When I asked him, Johnny, the first day he came here, he muttered something about trying to snag some carp with that rig. Snag some carp? But if you noticed up there in that cove before he saw us looking at it.
Yeah, he was right over the deep hole at the end of it.
The only place I've ever seen him fishing. If you can call it that.
Well, he was apparently dropping those heavy gang hooks down to the bottom and then scraping them up the rocky side.
Like a grappling hook, Johnny?
Right. Yeah, he's trying to snag something down there, all right, Buster. But it's certainly not carp. Have you tried dropping a line down there to see what you might hook onto?
Well, you can't get near the place because he's always there.
Even at night?
Well, no, but Johnny, you know what I think it is? And he's just got out of jail, too, remember?
I remember.
Well, Johnny, I think there's a body down there. And for some reason, he's trying to bring it up.
Could very well be.
Yes, sir. And that's why I called you.
Well, okay, Buster. I'll see what I can do. Buster had said that Hellman came here from Los Angeles. Well, there was a man in L.A. who was a veritable fount of information. Royal J. Harkins at Greater Southwest Insurance. It was evening now, so I put in a call to his home. I paid him through 85 cents, and he had plenty for me.
Of course I know who Otis Hellman is, Johnny. When he and that partner of his walked out of McKinney Mining Supply with $60,000, and in cash, mind you, we had to make good on it.
Is that why Hellman was sent to prison, Roy?
Yeah. For complicity in that job, though, I believe his partner was the one who really did it.
Who was the partner?
Another old prospector named Oscar Kirkman.
Kirkman. Is he still in jail?
No, he disappeared, Johnny. Just before he was to go to trial.
And the money?
Not a penny of it was ever found. So if you have any ideas about how and where you might recover it...
Sorry, Roy. But if you're interested in Kirkman's body, I might be able to find that for you.
What?
Or what's left of it. And yet, how can I be sure? I mean that it was a body that Hellman was trying to locate up there in that deep little cove. Well, there was only one way to find out, and I needed some special equipment for it. So early the next morning, I climbed into my rental car.
Bryce Shelby Sporting Goods up in Las Vegas, Johnny.
That's the closest place you know, huh?
I'm afraid so.
Okay, then, here I go.
Ordinarily, there'd be dozens folks around here who could loan it to you, but most of the people right now are either fishermen or water skiers.
Hey, incidentally, did Hellman go out in his boat this morning?
No, Johnny, and listen.
Yeah?
Maybe my imagination's working overtime, but listen.
Yeah?
Hellman had breakfast real early over in the cafe. Then he sat by the window where he could look over at your room. He must have drunk a dozen cups of coffee sitting there, but he didn't budge until you came out.
Oh?
When you did, when you went over for breakfast, he sort of casually walked down to the boathouse. I mean, it was a little too casual. And he just
stood around down there, still keeping an eye on you. Well, I don't like it.
Somebody must have told him who I am.
I wanted to help Johnny. I warned him not to before you arrived.
Well, I don't think any of the guests know.
Just the same, I think Hellman's suspicious of him. And Johnny?
Oh, stop worrying, Buster.
Just the same,
Just
Johnny.
keep an eye on him. I'll see you when I get back from Las Vegas. It was nearly 100 miles to Vegas, and I made it in 2 hours flat. There at Shelby Sporting Goods, I spent item 4, $169.18 for a complete skin diving outfit. Fins, faceplate, diving tank, and regulator, a powerful waterproof headlamp, and a passionate pink pair of swim trunks.
There you are, partner. You going to do your skin diving over Lake Mead?
Down at Mojave.
The last time I outfitted a man for down there was a couple of years ago. A man called himself a miner, a prospector.
Oh?
Yeah, rented $150 worth of stuff to him and never got it back.
Now, wait a minute. You know what his name was?
Sure. In spite of the fact that he gave me a phony one, it was right after that his picture was all over the papers with his partner, that other crook named Otis Hellman.
And his name?
Rings a bell, doesn't it, partner?
It sure does, Mister.
Sure. While Hellman took the rap, this one disappeared. Name was Oscar Kirkman.
Mister, you've just given me a wild idea.
That's all?
Just wild enough to make some sense. Yeah, and help me solve a case.
Solve a case? What kind?
Who knows? Maybe murder, among other things. On the drive down to Lake Mojave Resort, I stopped in Boulder City at the office of the National Park Commission. There I got hold of a topographical map of the whole area before Lake Mojave was filled up by data sand. Then, back in my room at the resort, I went over it very carefully.
I only got a minute, Johnny, before I drive over to Bullhead City. But I saw you come rearing in a minute ago, and what do you got there?
Hey, come here. Huh? Look, Buster. Take a look here on this map.
Yeah?
Before the new dam filled up the lake a few years ago.
Uh-huh.
Over here. There. Now, look here.
Oh. Well, yeah, that's where that long cove is now, where Otis Hellman's been working with that phony rig of his.
Uh-huh. And in the deep hole at the end of that cove...
Kirkman Valley.
That is right. Kirkman had a mine there before the lake was filled, when it was all just desert land by the side of the Colorado River.
And right there is where Hellman is grappling for something.
Right.
Kirkman disappeared, Johnny.
Yes.
But what really happened is that Otis Hellman killed him and stuffed him down there in that underwater mine.
Maybe.
But why he wants to bring him up again, whatever is left of him.
Buster, I want to use your boat.
Well, sure.
And if Hellman hasn't gone out fishing, has he?
Oh, he's still hanging around down at the dock.
All right, good. Somehow, you've got to keep him from following me.
Well, Hellman's seen you and me together so much, but I can have Jim fill up the fuel tank on Hellman's boat and, meantime, take out one of the spark plugs, something like that.
Good. He'll have plenty of chances because Hellman will be watching me when I take off.
What are you going to do?
A little skin diving up at the end of that cove. And don't be surprised at what I may bring up. Hellman was still at the dock, and I thought he kept his eyes only on me as I piled the skin diving stuff into Buster's boat. Meantime, Jim went through the motions of fueling up his motor. Then I took off and with the throttle wide open, drove up the lake to the long L-shaped cove. At the end of it, where the deep hole was, I tied up to an overhanging rock, put on swim trunks, faceplate, slippers, and tank, and gently let myself over the side. I've done a lot of skin diving here and there, but this was something new. The bright desert sunlight from above filtered through the clear, cool water and blended almost eerily the colors of the rocks in the narrow canyon that made this little cove, where the tremendous forces of nature over millions of years had stood up in the very face of the earth, had melted, then cooled and crushed and twisted the rocks into strange and wonderful shapes. And the fish, bass and crappie and bluegill, even a lazy old carp, they watched me without fear as I glided down beside them, moved gently aside, then followed them. A huge catfish casually turned aside as I flipped on the powerful beam of the headlamp. I could almost imagine a look of disdain on his face as he spied this alien beings in the world above. And then I found what I was looking for. The entrance to the old Kirkman mine, carefully boarded up. But I managed to pry one of the boards loose. And I found a package wrapped in heavy plastic with a heavy coating of wax. But I could see the color of money inside. I swam back up to the surface with it, to the shadow I thought was such the first. Tossing off my gear, I flung it and the package into the boat and grabbed the gun.
Don't bother about coming aboard, Mr. Dollar.
Wow. Mr. Help.
I convinced him that he should replace the spark plug in my motor that you had him removed.
Well, good for you.
You saved me a lot of trouble, Dollars, locating and recovering the money for me. Now that I have it...
Look, if you'll aim that thing the other way...
Did you also find the remains of Oscar Kurtzman down there?
Now, listen, Hellman.
Well, it don't matter. After I've killed you, you're going to join him down there with his anchor tied to your feet. Thanks again, Mr. Oh, no, you...
I kicked with all I had and overturned the boat. As he entered the water, Hellman fired again. A concussion hit his throat, but he dropped the gun, and with the help of the fins of my feet, I was able to turn him, to grab him around the neck and drag him down. I had taken a deep breath before capsizing his boat, and he was an older man than I. But it seemed like hours before he finally quit struggling, and with my lungs almost bursting, I carried him back up to the surface. He was still alive, but harmless. Buster, bless his heart, had been worried when he saw Hellman follow me up the lake. So he borrowed a boat and was waiting for us there at the end of the cove. Notice Hellman? Well, that's up to the court. The money, of course, all $60,000 of it will go back to the company. So, expense account total, including all the incidentals I could think of, and a couple of days of good fishing, $650.85. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Johnny Dollar.
Johnny, this is Jake Kessler. You know, Greater Southwest Insurance Company.
Out there in Kingman, Arizona?
That's right.
Well, hiya, Jake. What's on your mind?
One of my clients, Johnny, insured for $30,000, has a little cattle ranch. Name is Rafe Chisholm.
Rafe Chisholm.
That's right. Owns a Circle RC layout. Lays over between here and that Lake Mojave resort you're always going to.
What's the trouble? He losing some of his cattle?
Oh, losing plenty of them. They're being poisoned.
Oh?
Only it's not them steers I'm worried about. It's Rafe.
What do you mean?
Well, Johnny, I just found out that he just found out who's been contaminating them water troughs.
Yeah, who, Jake?
Well, he won't say, but listen.
Yeah?
If he really does, well, I know Rafe Chisholm pretty good, Johnny. He's a bad character. I wished I'd never sold him insurance.
Yeah?
Well, if he does know, well, Johnny, this whole thing is going to end up in a killing. Either whoever's doing this or Rafe himself.
The Circle RC.
That's right. So, will you come out here and see what you can do about it right away?
Sure. Okay, Jake, I'll be there.
CBS Radio brings you Bob Bailey in the exciting adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account, America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to the Greater Southwest Insurance Company, Kingman, Arizona office. The following is an account of expenses incurred during my investigation of the Sidewinder Matter. Jake Kessler hadn't given me very much to go on, but if my old friend Buster Favor, if Buster knew about the Circle RC and its troubles, well, expense account item 1 is $350 for a phone call to Davis Dam 72, the Lake Mojave Resort.
I sure do know about that water poisoning over at the Circle RC, Johnny. After all, it's only 50 or 60 miles from here.
Good. Then, Buster...
I hope you can get on out here before somebody gets killed over it.
Yeah, that's about the way Jake Kessler put it to me. So how'd you like to meet me at the airport over in Vegas?
Be glad to.
All right. Now, Buster, the best connection I can make will get me in there at 6 o'clock in the morning, okay?
I'll be waiting for you, Johnny.
Good. Item 2, 16390 plane fare to Las Vegas, Nevada. True to his word, Buster Favor was there waiting for me. In his car, we headed east on Route 95 to Boulder City, then turned south toward Kingman. And I wondered just how much food there was for a herd of beef cattle out here in this seemingly bare desert country.
Well, sure, it's a problem, Johnny, but a much bigger one is keeping them supplied with enough water. See those windmills here and there?
Yeah, I've noticed them.
Well, every one of them has a big water tank and a watering trough at the base of it.
Without 'em, those Herefords all die off. We turn here.
All right. Jake Kessler said this Rafe Chisholm is a pretty bad character.
You ask me, Johnny, Rafe just soon kill a man as he would talk to him. The Sidewinder, they call him. And good reason, too. He's just as mean as a Sidewinder.
Ah?
That's why nobody was very happy to see him politic himself into a lease on that good ranch land with all the water it's got on it. Doubt if a single one of his pumps ever goes dry, which is more than you can say for most of the wells out here, believe me.
But now somebody's poisoning the water for him.
That's right.
Any idea who?
No doubt about it.
Who, Buster?
His ex-partner in a gold mine. Another bad character. Name is Jerry McCoy. It was by cheating Mac out of his share of the mine that Chisholm got the money to lease the ranch.
I see.
And Mac swore if he ever caught up with Chisholm, he'd get even with him. Ask me, Johnny, Mac has caught up with him.
As western cattle ranches go, it apparently wasn't a very large one. But Buster pointed out where the fence line extended nearly 2 miles back into the mountains at the east end of it. As we neared the ranch house, I could see what he'd meant about the water. There were more trees and green than I'd seen anywhere else in this desert country. The ranch house itself was a sprawling, unpainted affair, but there was a flower garden at the side that appeared to be doing quite well. A dozen or so chickens pecking away at the dirt. As we stopped, a woman came running out of the door, came over to meet us.
Oh, it's you, Mr. Favor.
Howdy, Miss Chisholm. I'd like you to meet Mr. Johnny Dollar.
Howdy, Mr. Dollar.
Hi.
Listen,
Johnny's
now,
a
Mr.
special investigator for your husband's insurance company.
Oh, then you got to do something, Mr. Dollar. Do something about my husband, about Ray.
Well, he's the one I came to see. Is he here?
No, that's the reason you got to do something about him. You've got to stop him.
From what?
Oh, it was about an hour ago that my son come in from out on the range. My son, Wayne.
Yeah?
Wayne had been over along the east fence fixing to repair a broken post, but instead he come on back here and told his pa, told Ray.
Told him what, Mrs. Chisholm?
Jerry McCoy. Wayne had saw McCoy out there fooling around the trough at the windmill, fixing to poison it, he must have been.
And it is McCoy.
Oh, what did your husband do about it?
Oh, he grabbed his pistol, that old .45, and that knapsack of his'n, and he rode out there after him. Rafe will kill him, Mr. Dollar. Oh, he'll get killed himself, Mr. Dollar.
Yeah, knapsack, did you say?
Oh, yes, sir, that knapsack.
Oh, why do you say it that way? What's in it?
I don't rightly know, Mr. Dollar. Last few days, ever since he heard that McCoy was in these parts, he wouldn't let anybody touch it. He's kept it hid away.
That's funny.
Miss Chisholm, you think Wayne could show us where it was he saw Jerry McCoy?
I don't know where he is. Wayne has gone out somewheres, too, and I'm so worried about him.
Why do you say that, Mrs. Chisholm?
With Rafe and the kind of temper he's in, anybody got in his way or tried to stop him? Rafe's a dangerous man, Mr. Dollar, and he's got that gun with him.
What, his own son?
You don't know that Rafe, mister.
And we better find him quick.
We'll have to track him, Johnny. Miss Chisholm, are there a couple of extra horses we can use?
Oh, yes. Help
A
yourself.
lot better than a car out there in that mesquite and sage. Come on. And maybe we'll find Wayne for you, too.
Oh, I hope so, Mr. Favor. I hope he's all right.
Yes, sir. I hope so, too. But with that crazy man out there with a gun.
Yeah, come on, Buster. It looks like we've got our work cut out for us.
Yeah, Johnny, I was afraid of this.
Afraid of what?
Those tracks down there, those hoof prints.
I still don't see how you spot them, Buster, among all the cattle tracks and the other hoof prints.
They're real fresh, Johnny. And Rafe's mount turns out his left forefoot a little. See it there?
No.
The other tracks that follow his, well, must be the boy's horse. If Wayne catches up with him or old Rafe sees he's being followed, you got a gun with you, haven't you?
Yeah, right here.
Good. But I sure hope you don't have... Oh,
yeah, I heard that. Gunshot, huh?
Pistol shot. Must have been that .45 Rafe's carrying.
And it probably means that he's found McCoy.
Or he's discovered that Wayne's trailing him.
Only we had some way of knowing where that shot came from.
Only I hadn't been so busy talking my fool head off. So, well, I guess the only thing we can do is to keep following those tracks. Hey, wait.
Oh, boy.
Johnny, that shot came from over there at Black Canyon. Way over there to the right. Rafe has a windmill and a water trough and an old feed shack, too.
Then let's go.
Yep. Oh, boy. Come on.
What's the matter?
Look over there. The top of that mesa.
Those big dust clouds building up?
I knew this here was too still out here. Johnny, that dust over the mesa coming this way means that inside of 5, maybe 10 minutes, we're going to be in the middle of the worst sandstorm you ever heard of.
We better get on back to the ranch.
We'd never make it. We got to find cover. Come on, boy.
Oh, boy. But where, Buster?
Over there on the right. Shadow Mountain. Big cave in the side of it.
Then let's go, brother. Come on, boy. Up, up.
Just pray we can make it, Johnny. And believe me, I mean pray. Get out.
It was less than a mile to the cave in the side of Shadow Mountain. But by the time we'd covered half the distance, the sandstorm came roaring in on us. The hot, dry wind pounded and pummeled us at 50 or 60 miles an hour, hurling clouds of blinding, cutting sand ahead of it. How the horses were able to take this, I'll never know. Bent low in the saddle, our hats pulled down with handkerchiefs over our faces. We not only couldn't see, we could hardly breathe. As the storm got worse, we were forced to dismount, to cover the heads of the horses with our coats, to leave them on foot. But we kept on, and I prayed that Buster still knew where he was going. Buster, whom I could track only by hanging onto the tail of the horse that he was leading. Then, finally, a lee of Shadow Mountain. The life-saving protection afforded by the deep cave in the side of it. And there, to keep us company, were other fugitives from the sandstorm. Half a dozen jackrabbits, a couple of coyotes, a fox, and several kinds of rats and mice, huddled together silently, forgetting for the moment all the ancient instinctive enmities in their escape from the peril outside of the cave. And the wind roared with the sound of thunder, as though shrieking its anger, its frustration at having failed to smother us out there, as though now trying to deafen us with its sheer power. As we crouched there, the horses stayed close to us, making strange sounds, little sounds that I'd never heard before. It was almost like the whimpering of a frightened child. Then, after what seemed like ages, but could only have been a couple of hours, the wind subsided, as suddenly as it had come up. I started to rise, but Buster touched my arm and motioned me to wait. And then came the hail. A hailstorm of the kind you may hear about but never quite believe. Right here in the middle of the Mojave Desert. Hailstorms, some of them almost as big as golf balls, dashed against the rocks outside. And some of those hailstones rolled into the cave, then melted at our feet. Finally, it stopped. The little animals who'd been our companions quietly looked at one another, then one at a time departed. Maybe a little chastened by this having shared the comfort of each other's presence for a while.
Well, Johnny, kind of gives you a respect for this desert, doesn't it?
Yeah. Too bad those animals don't always get along so well. So peacefully, isn't it?
I guess you could say that about some of the people in this world, too, couldn't you? Well, we lost our trail, but we know where those shots came. Johnny.
Now, what?
Half under that rock, the one that blocks the entrance to this.
Somebody lying there, Buster. Must have come in during the storm.
Wayne. Johnny, it's young Wayne Chisholm. Wayne. Wayne. Are you all right, boy?
Hello, Mr. Favor.
You're hurt, Wayne. You've been shot. Who did this?
My pa.
Your pa? Rafe Chisholm?
I'll be all right.
What happened?
It was terrible.
Tell us, boy. Tell us.
Terrible. Terrible.
Wayne, boy, listen to me. You mean your own father shot you?
Yes, sir. But it's all right. He only nicked me.
What happened, Wayne?
Well, I don't think he meant to hit me, Mr. Favor.
Well?
But when he saw that I'd followed him after he got there looking for Jerry McCoy...
Did he find McCoy?
Well, he told me to go back, and he cursed me, and he fired a couple of wild shots at me.
The three we heard.
But I don't think he meant to hit me.
I wonder.
Then I hid behind some deer brush, and then worked my way down again so as I could see what he was doing.
Well, what about McCoy?
Oh, Pa found him all right. There in the feed shack, there in Black Canyon, where he was skinning out one of our young steers, in there out of the sun.
Okay, then, Johnny, we better get on over.
No, wait, Buster. Then what happened, Wayne?
It was terrible, mister. It was awful. I was close enough I could see him. I could hear him through the open window of the feed shack.
You think I didn't know all the time it was you, McCoy, that was poisoning the water for my cattle?
Yeah? Well, I told you I'd get even for what you'd done to me over in that gold mine, Rafe, and now I've got you just... No, put down that gun. Don't kill me, Rafe.
Kill you? And get myself in real trouble?
Then put it down, put it away. See, I got no gun on me.
I ought to kill you, Mac. I've been thinking about this a long time, about what I'd do when I caught you. But what's the use? What's the use of killing you?
Now, listen, Rafe, I'll make it up to you for the cattle I poisoned.
Make it up?
Yeah.
The insurance takes care of that. So, Mac, I'm going to let you go.
Yeah. Mean you ain't going to turn me over to the police?
Only if you do exactly what I tell you to do.
Yeah, Rafe, I'll do anything.
Sure you will, because I got this gun on you. Now start cutting a lot of strips. A lot of thongs off of that steer hide.
Yeah. You're going to tie me up? You're going to leave me out here to die?
Do like I tell you. Go ahead. Or maybe I will pull this trigger.
But you said you'd let me go, Rafe.
Hurry up. You're going to need a lot of them.
Me? Well, I don't understand you.
You think I'd want anybody to know I let you go? The man that was poisoning my cattle? Keep cutting them strips.
I am, Rafe, I am.
No, it's got to look like you got the best of me. Tied me up and left.
What?
You're going to tie me up to this post in here.
Tie you up?
Go ahead, do like I tell you. Go ahead, Mac. Unless you want a bullet in your head. Go ahead. All right. Pull them strips around my ankle tighter.
Yeah, Rafe, short.
Put another one around my neck, around the post.
Yeah. But if this is some trick on me, Rafe...
There ain't no trick.
But now listen, a couple of days out here, with no water, you die.
Come on, tighter. I still got this gun on you.
But I'm no killer, Rafe.
You won't be. Because a couple of hours and that boy of mine will be back here with help.
I don't
They
trust
see me tied up this way, they'll never know I got soft and let you get away.
I still don't trust you yet. Yeah.
You got no choice.
Now, here you are. You'll never get loose. Unless they come out and cut you loose.
You think I'd take this chance if I didn't know they would? Now, you get out of here. The wind's coming up, and there's going to be a sandstorm.
All right, I will.
And, here.
Your gun?
That's right. Take it. Because I know you ain't got the guts to use it on me. And it's better if they think you took it off me.
I don't get it, Rafe. But I better get out of here before they come for you.
That's right. You can take my horse, too.
Your horse, too, huh? Well, sure I will.
Don't touch that knapsack out there on the ground.
Knapsack? Why, Rafe, that's the one you carried when we was prospecting. You mean...
No. Any nuggets in that are mine, Mac.
Nuggets? Gold? Ah, yeah, some of the gold you cheated me out of, huh? I'll see for myself.
No. Mac, you open that knapsack and you'll be sorry.
Eh? Will I? Well, you can't stop me. Tied up that way, you can't stop me.
Now,
because now,
open it up.
What's in here rightly belongs to me.
And there in that knapsack was 3 sidewinders.
Sidewinders? Rattlesnakes?
Good Lord.
McCoy, he didn't have a chance.
Good Lord.
There was enough poison in them.
Yeah. And not knowing that you'd seen all this, but knowing you'll come back with help, that we'll find him tied up there.
Yeah, Johnny. Rafe's made it look like he has a perfect alibi. Not that McCoy didn't deserve to die, poisoning cattle.
It's still murder, Buster. Wayne, do you think you can make it to the ranch?
Yes, sir.
Then come on, Buster. We'll go on to Black Canyon. We'll pick up our killer.
Okay, Johnny. Ironic, isn't it?
Yeah. All trussed up and waiting for us. By his own doing. It was late in the afternoon by the time we reached the watering trough in the old feed shack. And the body of Jerry McCoy, already half buried by the sandstorm. And I wondered what sort of punishment could possibly be enough for the man who'd done this to him. Yeah, I wondered until we found Rafe Chisholm tied to that post.
Wait a minute. Johnny. We're too late.
I know.
Rawhide. Green steer hide. As it dried out, it shrank tighter and tighter around his body. Around his neck until
Yeah. I don't know. And who's to question the ways of justice? Expense account total, including a couple of drinks for Buster and myself, and the trip back to Hartford, $345.40. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Johnny Dollar.
This is Bill Walker down here in New York. You know Northeast Indemnity Associates?
Sure, I know. How are you, Bill?
Oh, pretty good, pretty good. Johnny.
Yeah?
You ever seen the Grand Canyon?
No, but I've always wanted to.
Well, why don't you?
At this time of year? Isn't that usually on the summer run?
Oh, ask anybody. Grand Canyon's beautiful this time of year. And as long as the company's ready, willing, and able to pay your expenses, how about it, Johnny?
Okay, you've made the pitch. What's the trouble out there, Bill?
Does the name Orloff mean anything to you?
Sure, Ted Orloff, L.A. Office of Western Indemnity.
I wish it were Ted.
What?
Oh, Johnny, I'm talking about Christy Orloff.
No, never heard of him.
Perhaps it's just as well.
What do you mean by that, Billy?
Well, it just happens that Christy Orloff, why don't you come on down here and let me give you the whole story?
Okay, Billy, why not?
The CBS Radio Network brings you Mandel Kramer in the exciting adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account. America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator,
yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to Northeast Indemnity Associates, New York office. Following is an account of expenses incurred during my investigation of the Grand Canyon matter. Expense account item 1, $10.12 for a mid-afternoon flight to New York. Item 2, $3.50 for a cab in to Billy Walker's office in the Salmon Tower building at that well-known corner of 5th Avenue and 42nd Street. And Bill didn't waste any time getting to the point.
I've arranged a room for you at the Waldorf, Johnny.
Oh?
And a seat on the plane to Phoenix a few minutes after 8 tomorrow morning. Mm-hmm. Meantime, cocktails and dinner, and the show tonight will be on me. Of course, unless you have other plans.
Oh, no plans at all. But why the royal treatment, Bill?
Oh, it's the least we can do, considering what's at stake on this one.
Which is what?
I mentioned Christy Orloff.
Yeah, and I told you I never heard of him.
A lot of people haven't. But do you remember the summit meeting back in November '57?
Summit meeting?
Yep.
Let's see. That was before Khrushchev grabbed his top spot, wasn't it?
Well, Nicky had nothing to do with this one. I'm talking about a meeting that took place in the little town of Appalachian, New York.
Oh.
Yes.
That gathering of 60 or 65 alleged top men of the underworld.
Mm-hmm. And among those present was our little old friend, Christy Orloff. Not one of the big shots, I'm sure. Maybe there's a bodyguard or something, but he was there. So when you find him, Johnny, just remember that.
Why should I find him, Bill?
Because I am convinced that he has the Otera's necklace.
Wait a minute. Are you talking about that ruby and emerald thing that some countess brought over here? Got written up in all the picture magazines a couple of years ago?
That's right.
Was sold to Winkler & Winkler, the big jewelry outfit?
And has since been quietly, cleverly stolen.
No kidding?
Yep. It's been kept out of the papers. But, Johnny, we wrote the insurance on it.
For how much?
Just under $1 million.
Wow. If I remember the pictures of it, that thing could have been broken up by a fence with no trouble at all.
Right. Now, the police are doing everything they can. And as you know, I have a lot of faith in our New York police.
So have I. Who's your contact?
Man at the 18th Precinct.
Randy Singer?
Yep, Lieutenant Randolph A. Singer.
One of the best, Bill. If he can't run it down for you.
Well, he's the one who's so sure that Christy Orloff has the necklace.
Has he arrested him?
They held him on suspicion for a while, but apparently didn't mean a thing.
I wonder.
Anyhow, I told Singer I'd sent for you, and he wants to see you.
Good. Oh, wait a minute. Just what is the connection?
Connection?
Yeah, I mean, if it's all happened around here, why am I going to Grand Canyon tomorrow?
I think you'd better get the story from Lieutenant Singer.
Okay, Bill, whatever you say.
And, Johnny?
Yeah?
If you do find Christy Orloff...
Yes.
Just remember what I told you about him and his background.
Sure. Item 3, a buck for a taxi across town to the 18th Precinct and a very brief visit with Randy Singer.
Oh, son of a gun. I might have known some darn fool would drag you and Johnny so you can get in our way and make a general nuisance of yourself.
All right. Now face up to it, Randy. If it weren't for my unselfish, unstinting help over the years, you might be doing the job that you're really suited for.
Yeah, and what might that be?
Pounding a beat. What else?
My pal. But you're not going to be underfoot this time.
Oh, how do you know?
Because thanks to our usual efficiency in this department, plus my inspired leadership, we've already nabbed the two guys who actually made the heist.
Oh?
Izzy Frambler, Soapy Norton.
Well, then where does Christy Orloff come in?
Both Soapy and Izzy, separately, and each without the other knowing it, sang like canaries, hoping we'd go easy on them.
That's typical.
And each of them told us the rocks had been handed over to Christy Orloff.
I see.
But could we find any sign of them around him or on him?
Nope.
No. We held him on suspicion as long as we could. Meantime, went over his apartment like Sherlock Holmes. Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And yet it makes sense for him to have it. Because Orloff is one of the greatest passers ever lived.
Yes.
Yeah, mostly dope over the years, but also important jewelry, artwork. Always small stuff that he could actually carry on his person. Also, Johnny, Orloff has all the right contacts for disposing of such stuff, especially on the West Coast.
Well, then it seems to me, Randy...
I'm way ahead of you. The L.A. San Francisco cops are with us all the way. They know those contacts, so keep an eye on them. And if Orloff meets one of them out there, he... But I don't think he will. Got too much sense. Can smell a bull a mile away. And that's why you head for Grand Canyon.
Why?
Because that's where Christy Orloff is headed. To recover from the shock of this unwarranted incarceration by the muddled, misled minions of the law, as he put it.
Look, Randy.
Yeah, now shut up and listen to me.
Yeah, go ahead.
I told you I was way ahead of you.
Well?
One of my boys, Rafe Kelly, sort of unofficially is on Christie's train, keeping tabs on him as far as Chicago. Keeping tabs on anybody that he meets, as a matter of fact.
Mm-hmm.
But once he leaves Chicago, and the next stop will be Grand Canyon, well...
Randy, all on the word of two heisters trying to pass the buck.
Yep.
And the fact that Orloff said he's heading that way.
Yep, because he's smart enough to do exactly what he said. Oh, look, Johnny, I know him. I know him inside and out.
Oh, you do?
Oh, yes, sir.
Why, you haven't been able to nail him down after all these years?
Touche. But, Johnny, I'm betting my bottom dollar that Grand Canyon's where he'll try to make us pass.
But, Randy, if you didn't find the stones on him or at his place...
Yeah, I know. Somehow, knowing the way I do, I'm sure he'll somehow have them on him when the time comes to make the contact.
What about his luggage on the train?
Oh, yeah. Kelly telephoned me from Chicago only a couple hours ago. He went through it twice. Nothing.
Well, Randy, it seems to me...
It seems to me, Johnny, you need a vacation. Grand Canyon.
Talk about a shot in the dark, though.
Well, will you do it? Just for me? Just for old time's sake?
No.
Oh, now, listen,
But
Johnny.
I will for one other reason.
Yeah?
It'll give me a free gander at the place. Which reminds me...
Of what?
Have you a description of Orloff that I can look at?
Oh, yeah, right here. Complete, including the picture.
Good, because if I... Wait a minute. You mean to tell me this sweet, harmless-looking little old man, this is Christy Orloff?
Don't let it fool you, Johnny. If he catches on to who you are and why you're there, oh, believe me, Johnny, look out.
All right, Randy. I'll take your word for it. account item 4. Just before cocktails, dinner, and a show with Billy Walker. $184 at Willoughby's camera store to be sure I'd look like a genuine tourist when I got to Grand Canyon. Item 5, the following morning, $176.22 for a jet to Phoenix, Arizona. Then after we sat down there, item 6, $50 deposit on a rental car. The next 235 miles were mighty interesting driving through the colorful desert country around Wickenburg, Prescott, Ash Fork, and finally into the lower edge of the Kaibab National Forest. And then Grand Canyon. You know, a lot of words have been written about the canyon, about its appalling size and rugged beauty, its fantastic colors, always changing like a giant kaleidoscope that never stops moving and yet never repeats itself. The many hued spires and temples and buttes, whole ranges of mountains that jut up from this mile-deep chasm. The mighty Colorado sweeps along in its dash to the sea. Well, words simply can't begin to do it justice. And the tireless forces that have molded it. The river, the rain, the frost and snow and sun are still at work on this incredible sculpture. Amazing, beautiful, impressive, almost overpowering. As I finished signing my name on the register at the famous El Tovar Hotel, perched there above the canyon's rim, the clerk passed a telephone to me.
Yes, sir. It's a call for you.
Oh, thank you. Johnny Dollar.
I told you I was right, Sunshine.
Oh, Randy.
Now listen.
Go ahead.
I got another call from Kelly.
Yeah?
Your little friend Orloff will arrive there by train sometime tomorrow morning.
Good. Though I don't know whether I can stand your having been right for once.
I'm always right.
Oh, sure. Go on.
Now listen.
I'm listening.
I also got a call from the cops out in L.A. about Ricky Fortino. Remember that hood?
Narcotics, wasn't it?
Uh-huh. Narcotics, jewelry, artwork, the black market in Europe, gold smuggling in Hong Kong. Just about anything big time you can think of. I'll try to phone you an ID on him later.
All right, but what about him, Randy?
He's taking a train out of L.A. to guess where?
Here?
Uh-huh. Now, why those guys travel by train when something's on the fire, I don't know. Maybe it doesn't attract as much attention as a plane flight. Anyhow, that means Fortino's going to be the receiver for that necklace.
Certainly looks that way. And being here, he's clear of the L.A. police.
Sure.
When's he get here?
I don't know. Probably not until after Orloff does. But what's the difference? Those two will take their time about making the pass anyway.
So until they're certain they're in the clear, no tails on them.
Right. So, there it is, Johnny. Go to it. But be careful, boy. Be careful.
And all for the sake of building up that half-baked reputation of yours.
Sure. Why not?
You're a bum.
Of course I am.
All right, Randy. I'll be in touch. Item 7, $5.80 for dinner. Then I noticed that a lot of the guests wandered outside. And no wonder. The moon, low in the sky, was bright and full. And the canyon took on a completely new and almost mysterious beauty. The myriad colors gone, of course, but in their place, the jagged spires and peaks stood out in bold relief, casting bleak black shadows in weird and exciting patterns onto the canyon floor. And from where I finally stood against the railing on the edge of a promontory, I could look back at the El Tovar and see it silhouetted starkly against a silvery, moonlit cloud. Okay. I'd brought along the camera purely as a prop. But here, if the lens and the film were fast enough, was a chance to shoot a masterpiece. To steady it for a time exposure, I set the camera on a post. Then, to get a better aim, and hoping none of the Park Service men were looking my way, I carefully climbed over the railing, holding on tightly with one hand, for it left me leaning slightly over the dark, seemingly bottomless chasm. And then, well, I guess I was too engrossed in setting the shutter and focus. For the next thing I remember is feeling a heavy boot smash under my fingers, losing my grip, and then a falling. When I came to my senses, a little while later, I was was tangled up in a bush beside a little trail not 20 feet below the spot from which I'd fallen. Believe me, I muttered a prayer of thanks. As I lay there, I suddenly realized that Randy was all wrong. That Orloff's contact from the coast, Ricky Fortino, had already arrived and somehow had recognized me. So what if he didn't know my reason for being there? He might well suspect it. And it was obvious that he didn't like the idea of my being around. If only Randy had been able to give me a description of him. Anything, so I'd know who to look out for now. Wait a minute. If he thought I could recognize him, perhaps he'd stay out of my way until I could find out if Orloff was bringing the necklace. The next morning at breakfast, I carefully looked over the other guests in the hope of finding one of them surprised at seeing me still alive, but it was only a waste of time. All right, then. There was only one thing I could do. Stay as close to Christy Orloff when he got there as I possibly could. So from the time his train pulled in until dinner that evening, I was either watching the door of his room for a possible caller or within 50 feet of the gentle-looking little old man. On a guided bus tour run by the Park Service, I even sat right next to him. As a matter of fact, as the two busiest shutterbugs of the lot, we were quite friendly.
There you can see the 70-foot-high Indian watchtower, a faithful reproduction of the strange buildings put up here many centuries ago.
Boy, I've never seen it. Fascinating, isn't it?
Oh, it certainly is.
Yes.
Boys, there on the brink of the canyon, it is built entirely of native stones. At the base there is a kiva. That is to say, a reproduction of an ancient ceremonial chamber once used by the Pueblo Indians.
How about that?
Beautiful, beautiful.
On the walls of both the kiva and the tower, you'll find numerous actual specimens of Indian pictographs, drawings and carvings
Well,
centuries.
I see that you're as busy with your camera as I am with mine, young man.
Yeah, I've used up about 2 rolls of film in this bus trip alone, Mr. Orloff, did you say it was?
Yes, quite right. And your name is... Well, what you know. I'm afraid you forgive me, old man, but I've forgotten your name already.
That's all right, it's Burns, Jerry Burns.
Oh, of course. Jerry, I just love to take pictures. I'm never without my camera. Look, that Indian boy walking by. Fine. Got him.
Good.
Tell me, are you taking a mule trip down to the Bright Angel Trail in the morning?
Well,
I'm certain that I shall.
Oh? Well, good, then I will too.
Excellent. Oh, and Jerry, why don't you share my table at dinner this evening?
I don't know why not.
Excellent. But look there is a wonderful picture. See? Right there.
And then it hit me. His hiding place for the necklace. If, that is, Randy had been right, that he actually had it. Yes, the corniest, most obvious, and because it was so obvious, the best hiding place of all. In the one thing that he kept with him every minute. Except when he went to meals. No wonder Randy and his boys had missed it. And the tip-off? It was the fact that he must have snapped 70 or 80 pictures with that little camera, but without once changing the film. But I had to make sure. Item 8, back at the hotel. $3.80 for a call to Randy Singer.
And you're sure that'll be the right time, Johnny?
I'll make it the right time, Randy. Just be sure you keep him on the phone long enough to give me plenty of time.
Okay, Johnny, okay. Now, don't let him out of your sight or Ricky Fortino will get to him as sure as guns.
Don't you worry. Again, the vigil. Until at dinner time, I knocked on the door of his first-floor room, then together we went to the dining room, sat down, and ordered the meal. An appetizer, then the soup course, the entree. Then finally, the maitre d' came over and told Orloff there was a New York call for him at the desk. He looked puzzled for a moment, then politely excused himself. As soon as he was gone, I ducked down the corridor to his room, slipped the lock, closed the door behind me, and frantically looked around through his things for the camera.
I found it at the bottom of a suitcase, opened the back, and there, sure enough, was the necklace. I stuffed it into my pocket, closed the camera, and put it back. But there was another matter to take care of. Or rather, another man, the one who tried to push me into the canyon. So when I heard steps, 2 pairs of them, coming down the hallway, I made a quiet but hasty exit through an open window. I stood there behind a bush and watched as Orloff and a short, dark, wiry-looking man walked in and headed for the suitcase.
I tell you, Orloff, I don't hang around here any longer than I got to. Dollar finds out that I'm around, he knows that I'm the one who gave him that push last night.
All right.
All right, so produce the loot. Let me scram out of here. Come on, will you?
Well, just be patient. It's right here in the back of my camera. Here you are. You see, it's... What?
Is, huh?
Ricky, look, it's gone. Somebody got to it.
Okay, Orloff. So that's why you tried to stall, huh?
Now, Ricky, put that gun down.
Big Hugo thought that necklace might be too pretty for you to part with.
What?
Yeah. He thought you might try some phony dodge like this.
Dodge?
Make out like it got snatched from you?
No, listen, Ricky.
You know what he told me I should do if you did?
Ricky!
Yeah. This.
No!
One quick movement. From somewhere under his coat, Orloff pulled a gun and got off a shot. Loaded Fortino. And then...
By the time it was over, the 2 of them lay on the floor. Both very dead. Come to think of it, there's an extra dividend on this case. Fortino's mention of Big Hugo, whoever he is. So now the police know of another big shot to gun for. Expense account total, including a couple of extra days there at Grand Canyon. Oh, call it $5.5 bills. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.